fuck.
I'm leaving.
Oh, that's it. We're done?
I fucked up.
All right. Great podcast, everybody. Let me pull out the list of people to thank. Hitler.
Hey, whoa.
And Jesus.
Okay, well.
You know? You take the good with the bad in this universe.
That kind of equals out, I guess.
It
if
does,
you're going to thank
yeah.
both of them.
They cancel each other out.
You can't thank one. Thanking one's bad.
Either one. Just singularly, yeah.
We're very neutral.
I'm a
so
centrist, yeah.
For every bad, we have to thank a good.
You have to have a certain level of appreciation for both Jesus and Hitler. I mean, you say what you want about what he did, but he was capable of getting it done.
Was he? I mean, I feel like he had a lot of help. I feel like a lot of people were just following orders.
I mean, if anybody was to come back as a ghost because of their unfinished business, it would be Hitler. He just comes back and says, "Oh, they're still around?"
I think he should know very full well that he didn't complete his task.
Because of the cyanide in his body?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of the lost war there.
That shitty lost war.
You know how he like lost the war, I think?
An interesting thing about Hitler is that his plan was always to kill himself. It was one or the other. It was either I'm going to achieve all of my dreams or I'm going to die trying, literally. So it was like, he didn't kill himself because he lost the war. That was just kind of always the plan.
Ah. Well, thanks for that little tidbit about Hitler. That is just my favorite way to start the podcast.
He also ruined a mustache for just everyone ever.
Oh,
forever.
boy. I bet Charlie Chaplin is just steaming.
I'd snap.
I cannot believe.
You thought that, yeah. Now the only thing you can do is like the Bizarro World version where you just shave the middle and nothing else.
The wings.
I'm the anti-Hitler.
You got the tips. Just the tips is what you've got of your mustache.
Hatler.
Hotler.
Fuck yeah. I just learned
Hotler.
about and I think there's a movie from 1997, and it's sort of like a scary movie type where they parody, but they only parody, as far as I could tell, Pulp Fiction, but it's called Plump Fiction. Now, if that doesn't sound like a pornographic film to you.
That sounds like the pornographic parody to a cult classic film.
Yeah, and I don't know if it is or not because I have not seen it, but I did learn that it exists.
I say give it a try. Let me know how it is.
Yeah.
And like, I'm gonna have to. I'm probably gonna have to watch Pulp Fiction to get it. But
have you not seen Pulp Fiction?
I don't know.
What are you doing to me if you haven't seen that?
That's the one where there's like a dude in the basement and he.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course you've seen Pulp Fiction because we've talked about poor Ving Rhames and getting things he's never deserved in his life.
The New Testament, the Ving Rhames edition.
It's just songs where they all ended motherfucker.
Yeah, I think I've only seen it once, and I'm not gonna lie, I had a hard time following it because I just remember there was a briefcase with a glow.
Yeah.
And then they pulled a man out of the box, and well.
Yeah, you wanted him to stay in there. You wanted him to have stayed in the box, probably.
Yeah.
When he comes out, it's like an abused dog. Once it comes out of the box, dude, you're in trouble.
I'm like, is he always in that box?
I think he spends the majority of his day in that box, yeah.
But that's like...
He's got a full schedule.
Like what kind of life is that, you know?
A bad one.
How do you get off on that?
It's either the worst life ever or your favorite life.
You're either living for it or just living it till it's over.
Yeah, dude. You got to learn to, you got to find the silver lining in every cloud, you know?
Hey man, you could bring me out of the box for other things. I'm really fun at parties. I don't have to just keep doing this to Ving Rhames.
Stop eating dinner alone. I'm right here.
Yeah. I'm down here in this box, hard as a rock all day. And
the hard as a rock part. Good God. You got to add that.
You keep feeding me these pills.
I don't know. I'm sure they're working, but I can't tell because the blood's gone from my eyes at this point. I have no blood anywhere but one place on me because of these pills.
And they keep him in a box too, so he's like the people from The Descent, just like
he
eyes,
slowly becomes blind. And echolocates like that one black kid on the bicycle.
And there's an asshole. Oh. You know,
There's an ass.
he's using the sound to find
I can
it.
tell. I've found the mouth of the cave.
It's time to go splunking.
Oh.
Welcome to Grindhouse Movie Club. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I've no.
Whoops.
Is that what Pulp Fiction is about? Because
It's about a lot of things, but you summed it up.
All right.
You got the Cliff Notes version.
Well, I'd like to thank Andrew for that.
Thanks, Andrew.
Thanks for the song. Thanks for the song, and thanks for the dance.
Yeah, I assume you're dancing.
Every day.
You must be. Harlem Shake? I went to a Halloween party last weekend.
Oh, God.
My roommate dressed as Filthy Frank
Okay.
from the good era.
So it was just like a Korean man wearing a pink...
blue button-up shirt.
Oh!
Not pink guy.
Okay.
Filthy Frank. You know the videos he did where he would do impressions of people from different cultures, and 10 out of 10 of them were racist?
Oh, yeah. I really enjoyed that video that he did 1,000 times. It was good.
That outfit plus rice hat.
Yeah, that's...
He even found the glasses. I was impressed.
I think that's like the only outfit he wears, is it not? Like the business shirt?
Yeah, it's like his vlogging outfit, you know?
All right.
My friend who hosted the party was dressed as one of the members of Eskimo Callboy.
I don't know what that is.
All you need to know is that he got a bowl cut for his costume.
Well, all right. That's bad. That's too much dedication.
And when I asked him how the fuck he could have wrapped his head around changing his head for months for a Halloween costume, he was like, well, I spoke to my hairstylist and he said he can unfuck it.
I really hope.
I don't know what he's going for after this.
Like that's a big claim right there. Yeah,
I
can fix this the way I'm making it hard and right angled.
Now, 2 things that you need to know about this hairstylist. 3 things. All right.
Do they have any hands? They got no hands, do they?
He's got 2 hands and they work great.
It's a mouth-based barber.
For a couple reasons. Number 1, he's gay, which means that's like.
What does that mean?
That's like going to the elves of the Lord of the Rings for your magic. They know what they're doing. Okay, they were born that way.
All right.
And then also he has to drive 45 minutes out of the city for this guy, and it costs him $90 every time.
Jesus.
So that must be the greatest hairstyle. That's Edward Scissorhands.
Does he not know that people cut hair in town for cheaper?
Yeah, they do, but all those people are not amazing, apparently.
All right.
This guy's just great.
I beg to differ, but all right.
He's one of those dudes that starts at a salon and then he just starts cutting out of his house because of his clientele.
Because they're sketchy?
Because it's just...
Because they want to pay under the table?
You see this with tattoo artists as well, where they're like, I'm sick of renting this chair. I'm just going to do it at home. And everybody's like, yup, I'm coming to your house now. Because they're that good. I assume that's what this is like.
It better be.
I can't remember his damn name.
That's one step away from hepatitis.
That's true. I don't know if that's as true when it comes to haircuts, unless the scissors slip and you're at a barbicide.
And they're always slipping.
Are they?
I don't know.
I certainly hope not.
I wouldn't be able to
hope
tell.
the scissors don't slip a single time when I'm getting my hair cut.
I wouldn't know. I can't fucking see it.
You'll know when you're suddenly missing an ear like Van Gogh.
There's only one angle
whoever the fuck it was. I can never remember who it was who cut his damn ear.
It was Van Gogh.
Okay.
Da Vinci just liked to draw nude men.
Yeah, with like way too many arms and legs.
Yeah, they did. Oh shit. I forgot what I was talking about.
Well, that's fine.
Oh
hairstylist.
Yeah.
And scissors.
You really only have to focus on it looking good from the front because I can't see the sides, the back, or the top.
Yeah. Like if I were to get like a back tattoo, I would just have to take your word that it looks good forever.
Yeah. Honestly.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, cool, because I don't fucking know what's there.
Yeah, who's that for, you know?
Yeah, and I wouldn't. That's why my arms are done more than anything else, is because I like to be able to see the fuck what I get.
Mm-hmm.
It's for me.
And that's how you know you're not getting a fucking hatchet man.
That's true.
Just a big, bold hatchet man.
A Masonic symbol.
A hatchet man that goes from ass crack to the nape of your neck. Just hatchet man.
Didn't you have a run-in with a guy who had his own face tattooed on the back of his head?
Yeah, there's a guy around town who definitely it's either him or it's like Ben Kingsley. Because they look the same. This man looked like Ben Kingsley, and on the back of his head was Ben Kingsley. I don't remember what. I think I just he was just in the street talking to somebody I knew, and I had to stand there and wait.
Mm.
And that was that.
You got to see his fucking back of head tattoo of his own face though, and that's a move.
Yeah,
It's a real Steve-O move.
It's a real Voldemort move.
Yes, it is. Yeah,
Because there's not enough.
you have to wear a head wrap if you have that, because then you have to dramatically remove it every time.
Well, the issue with your face on the back of your head is that it's not the same shape, right?
Or size.
Your mouth would have to start halfway down your neck.
There's no chin on the back of your neck.
And the shape.
Yeah.
The shape is not there.
No, you look like Megamind, no matter what.
I mean, yeah. Megamind, Voldemort, you don't look good.
No.
It's not a good look.
Voldemort never looked good. Rafe Fiennes, on the other hand, a smoke show.
Oh yeah, you talking about the deaf guy from Red Dragon?
Yes, as a
Yeah.
matter of fact, I am.
Oh yeah.
Do you see?
that? Do you feel the hair lip?
I always forget that. And Philip Seymour Hoffman just being fat in a chair, crying.
I mean, he was definitely crying because he was hot glued to that chair.
Yeah, he was not leaving that chair.
There was no getting up. He didn't try. It's a good movie. One day we'll.
Yeah.
One day
I mean, yeah, I guess they both count as horror movies.
they sure do.
So that's cool.
All of them. The
Would be-
whole series.
Speaking of horror movies that it would be difficult to have a bad review of, which one did we do this week, Matthew?
Oh man, you mean this movie where I literally had nothing bad to say?
I had maybe 2 things bad to say.
I'm not quite. Was it the animation?
One of them was yes.
Yeah, that was the only. I'm like, thank God this isn't lasting too long.
Yeah. I'm glad it's a dream.
Yeah, I'm glad that I know that he's dreaming by the way it's a cartoon.
Yep.
Well done.
Yep.
Well done, Cosmoso Flubalubu, whatever your name is. I don't know, he directed the film.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm glad that Cosmo is right in his name because this dude's
yeah.
fucking in outer space in his head.
And I went ahead and I checked out one of his other films.
Didn't he also do Color Out of Space?
Probably because
I think he may have also done that.
the other one that I looked at looks just like this.
And then Beyond, is it that?
I don't know. There maybe I haven't. That's not the one I checked out though.
It was in the list of similars.
Okay, maybe. Anyway,
If he did Color Out of Space, he's got a Nicolas Cage fetish just like I do. Because this week we watched Mandy.
Mandy. And if you don't have a Nicolas Cage fetish, this is what.
This is why you do.
This is the seed.
Yeah. This seed. You're about to get fucking Nicolas Cage's seed all over this podcast.
You're about to get a seed in your tummy.
Yeah. Just call me Johnny Appleseed.
Call me anybody who comes. Right in your mouth.
Tits, my mouth, my face.
Oh God, that's a list of places.
I can't help it. All right, you see, I come over, you immediately show me Cobra videos.
Hey man, King Cobra.
King Cobra and his filthy ex-girlfriend, who's somehow grosser than him.
Oh, she's the worst. Look, I don't need to sit here and describe this all to the podcast, but
Fucking match made in hell.
look it up. Look it up on if you like seeing people who are not getting any better. And not doing anything to better themselves.
No.
Just being worse and worse every time they make a video.
Yeah, and somehow fine with it.
Yeah, that's these people. And it's something to look at, I'll tell you that.
It sure is.
Sorry,
I'm getting over a 7-day long cold. So
I can't believe you would bring a cough into this home.
yeah, how dare I?
This is where you're filthing up my place with your 7-day colds.
At least I'm not adding to a puddle on the floor.
You know?
All right, Cobra?
Yeah. All
see?
right. I see what you're saying. Because I literally had a mysterious puddle on the floor last night.
Well, I hope you solved that mystery.
I wiped it up.
I hope it wasn't the groundskeeper.
Well, it was like a gray-green puddle that was mysteriously in the middle of the floor and cold.
You know what it was based on this film? It was LSD.
It was very, very much so. I touched it. I tasted it.
Did you have a face melting experience? Quite literally.
Oh yeah. Anyway, Mandy.
Yeah, Mandy. I like movies that start with poetry, especially when that poetry comes from a fucking deadhead at a concert, because that's where this poem comes from.
I imagine so.
I had to look it up because I wanted to know if it was a song lyric. Anyway, if you look up "When I Die, Bury Me Deep," if you Google that, you're going to find probably 2, if not 3 examples of it in use. One of them is its origin, which was a guy went to a fucking Grateful Dead show and talked to one dude, and that dude refused to be interviewed, but just handed him a piece of paper with this fucking poem on it. And then the other thing that you're going to find is that it's part of a military cadence, which is like when they PT, like, you remember Full Metal Jacket, and they have like a...
right. They
whatever
shout.
Arlie Ermy, I think his name is talking about how delicious vagina is. Good for me and good for you. And then I think his name's Jason Douglas, but I could be wrong on that. Anyway, a serial killer said it right before being executed.
Pretty cool.
So yeah,
pretty cool last words right there.
Pretty cool way to start a film as well.
I mean, the first 20 seconds of this film, like you just, it's there's a sound. It's like a weird 80s, like neo 80s power metal sound.
Yeah.
And like you hear that, and you don't need to know anything about the film other than Nicolas Cage is gonna go wild.
Yeah, at some point he goes hog wild.
Like you hear the sound, and there's nothing you can do other than just buckle up because the roller coaster's in motion.
And
settle in.
Quite like The Shining, when your opening shot is over top of a sprawling forest, you know immediately that nothing good's gonna happen in that forest.
Oh yeah, the music shifts to you over the intro into like this weird, easy listening, like electric guitar.
Yeah,
it's very smooth, very different.
Probably The Who.
It could be. It's probably the dude in this fucking film.
I'm very jealous of where they live. This is exactly where I want to live. Middle of the fucking woods. Yeah, dude, with like just lakes around. Nicolas Cage is an arborist in this film. His job is to cut down trees and then come home to his weird baked wife.
His job is to cut down trees and then just walk away like a badass as they fall down behind him.
Yeah, didn't say timber, didn't give a fuck the trajectory of the tree. If it hits me, it hits me.
Yeah, this is how that happens. Just, and we go.
Yeah. Do you have 2 sentences or less for Mandy?
Right.
Because I do this.
Hold on, what did I write down? Because I started. Here we go. When you work at a secluded gas station, you might as well kiss your life goodbye. How about that?
I mean, you're not wrong. When an old lady comes into your secluded gas station and makes unblinking eye contact small talk with you
and asks you where you live,
close up shop for the day.
Lie to her or don't go home. You have 2 options.
I'm actually moving.
Live? I'm transient.
Yeah.
Under any bridge.
I live here. My 2 sentences or less is people in glass houses shouldn't get stoned.
Yeah, what the fuck is that? That house is all solarium.
It's the fucking house from 13 Ghosts. It might as well be. My only complaint about the house is that they've chosen their bedroom to be the room in the house that from the outside you can see the most of inside.
Their bedroom is that room in all the old Wendy's buildings. You know how at the front of it there's always like a solarium.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where they sleep.
I think that may have been the smoking section.
Hey man.
You know?
Why not?
I think that might have been the smoking section back when that was the thing in restaurants.
Put them in the sun.
Yeah.
Let them bake.
Let them bake. Let them fry up. Just go stale.
Something, because like this is all just like a montage. We start with a montage. Nick's cutting down trees. A helicopter picks him up. I wrote this is nom for trees because you get like a helicopter flyover.
Yeah. I love the smell of pine needles in the morning. I wrote, and then we get his wife. So I wrote, get artisanally high with your lumberjack husband while you pencil crayon naked tits with a lion.
Artisanally high. I love it.
Well, look at what she smokes out. She smokes out of a fucking sawn off wizard's pipe.
I wrote, she's smoking God knows what out of what appears to be the vine off of a pumpkin.
That's what it is.
It looks like she ripped the stem off of a pumpkin and
she just whittled a hole in the middle of it. It's shaped like a Japanese soup spoon. You know the miso spoons?
Yeah.
Super wide bowl.
Oh yeah, that's a wizard's pipe or a miso spoon.
Because
sure.
when you're aged 40, like this woman is, and you've been smoking since you were a child, it takes a lot. We need a lot in that bowl. I also wrote here, Nicolas Cage can get a hotter wife than this.
Probably could.
This woman looks like if Tilda Swinton gave birth to a lizard.
She looks basically exactly like what's her face from The Shining.
Oh, fucking just Wendy.
Yeah.
Wendy with more manageable teeth in her mouth.
What's her name? Shelley Duvall.
Shelley Duvall, yeah.
Yeah, she looks just like Shelley Duvall.
Oh, that zombie died recently, didn't she?
Sure did.
Yeah, she looked like she had been dead for years.
Rippity. You know?
Rippity rap.
I mean, like when you smoke a cigarette the way she does, you
with your whole mouth?
you inhale the entire thing. One go.
Ever tell you that story about my grandfather?
No.
So he used to smoke a lot. Like he was, I think he was up to 2 packs a day probably in his 30s. And he's banging his ex-wife and he can't keep up and she starts complaining about it. And he was like, look, I've had like 32 cigarettes today. So what do you want from me? And then
Jesus Christ.
he realized that was a problem. So he quit. But in order to stay not smoking again, every Christmas, he would bum a cigarette off a family member and pull the entire thing at once. Just to remind himself how bad it sucks.
All right.
And
That'll do it.
That is my grandfather.
That'll fucking do it.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Well, I get nauseous after a cigarette in the morning just sometimes. Let alone a whole cigarette at once in the morning.
God, you think he'd just remember that, you know?
Yeah.
Why don't I like these? Oh, yeah, because I throw up every Christmas.
I mean, you don't remember hangovers. You get drunk again.
Fair.
Nicolas Cage's entrance after the fucking intro scene of this movie,
oh my fucking god.
He comes in and he tells the worst knock-knock joke on the face of the planet.
Before that, he walks into the house and just says knock-knock, and that startles her.
Yeah.
You have the door open
That's true.
night
Yep.
in the woods
Yep.
with your back to it.
Yep. Closest neighbor, miles away.
What are you doing?
Thank God he announced his presence verbally instead of just like touching your shoulder or something. He'd probably turn around with a knife.
Like,
I'll stab you if you just walk in.
If that scares you, why is the door wide open? It's because you're smoking fucking weed.
That is, yeah. You got to air out the house.
Jesus.
Wood doesn't.
Open
Wood doesn't.
any
breathe.
of the windows.
Yeah, wood's very porous. You don't want that smell getting in, just sticking around.
My God. Anyway.
And then he leans over and creepily considers his wife's art for like an uncomfortable amount of on-screen time.
Yup.
That scene takes forever to fade out.
Did you get the joke? Did you understand the joke?
What does he say? He's just like knock knock. The guy from Chips.
No,
that's the joke.
Yeah.
I don't.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Eric Estrada.
Eric Estrada, who?
Eric Estrada from Chips.
Yep.
And then they laugh like it's the funniest.
Yeah.
Fucking... What?
I
know who Eric Estrada is. I've never seen Chips.
I barely know who Eric Estrada is.
He's not funny on sight. Like, he's not a funny looking guy. It's not like they're like, haha, the guy with the cleft lip.
They're not laughing at him for his physical appearance.
Knock knock. Who's there? The guy with the weird hand who lives down the street, right? Haha.
Oh my
Fuck
God.
that guy.
No, no. They're laughing at a Mexican. That's what they're laughing at.
Haha.
The idea of Mexicans around here?
Ships.
Unfathomable.
Fucking cop show. I don't know.
I have no idea. Somebody who's old enough to remember 1983, fucking email grindhousemovieclub@gmail.com and explain this knock knock joke.
Please.
Because, dear God, this movie takes place in 1983.
It takes place on the, what is it, the Shadowy Mountain? The Shadow Mountains?
Sure.
In 1983, you're right.
Mm-hmm. And so you could... This is going to be a very difficult one to cover on a podcast because the majority of the movie is visual. You have to be looking at the movie to get a lot of this.
Yeah, there's no way for us to do this movie justice.
I can't describe the psychedelic nature of almost every scene in this film with words.
Yeah, what you need to know is that this movie
is a trip.
It is a trip.
It's a fucking trip.
And the tone for each scene is set by like the color that is.
Yes. Yeah.
There's blue, there's red, there's pink and purple, and I think there's just like yellow, white light for regular, not on acid stuff.
Just a van in the woods sometimes.
Yeah. So when they like sleep, everything's blue for some reason because they live in a fish tank. I don't know. And then like
they raided Hot Topic of the strobe lights is what happened.
pretty much.
They have the fucking Spencer's nearby is barren. They have all of the Spencer's products in this house.
Yeah.
All the way down to the Black Sabbath t-shirts for too much money.
They got all those glow posters.
Yeah, glowsters.
The fucking Led Zeppelin glowsters. Yeah.
Which is how people from Gloucestershire pronounce where they're from.
Glowsters.
Ugh.
Well, that's not a real place, so we don't have to worry about it.
Fuck.
Is that Middle Earth?
Yeah, it might as well be, dude. Have you ever seen the cobblestone roads? It might as well be.
In Middle Earth?
In Gloucestershire.
Like,
in Gloucestershire.
that's not a place.
Unfortunately, it is.
I just told you it wasn't.
I'm sorry, I had a fever dream, I guess.
I just told you that was a place in Middle Earth.
Yeah.
So why aren't you listening?
Well, Middle Earth.
When I tell you something, you just agree with it blindly.
Listen, Middle Earth is technically New Zealand, so I mean,
that's fine.
You just changed the name of it.
One day I'll go there.
I
won't be able to get to the place because it's so fucking far. Like, it took 3 movies to get there.
Yeah. Well, the problem is they walked. We have cars.
They weren't a goddamn road.
I mean,
they climbed mountains, Jay.
Yeah. Well, you know what could do better than that? The Eagles that you could have ridden.
I'm sure there was a good reason.
No.
If
there's a good reason, it's because Gandalf is a shitty wizard.
What about like?
It's well established throughout the books, to my knowledge, that Gandalf is kind of a shitty wizard. And he's got an end goal, and he's like, I'm not going to tell you anything. Just walk this ring to the volcano. I could probably throw it with my magic hand from here, and it would fall in the volcano.
No, for probably a lot of reasons. Or else he would have done that.
He's
right?
like, I can't touch the ring because it's just too much. I'll be too much wizard. That's it. I'm gonna get my jizzard everywhere.
He would be an invisard.
In a blizzard.
There's probably there's a lot of reasons why Gandalf did what he did. We don't need to get into this.
Yeah. My point was, though, that I knew it was the 80s anyway, because as Nicolas Cage is driving home, it's Reagan doing a presidential speech on the radio that he turns off.
Is it? Because I thought it was like a religious radio that he turns off.
Well, Reagan was a very godly president. But, so, like, my point there is that a lot of this movie is context clues and visuals in the movie itself.
Yeah.
So we could sit here and talk about how it progresses and how cool it is as it's happening. But this is you have to watch it.
It really is.
Just sit down and watch fucking Mandy, all right?
Yeah, you should probably pause this cast and go watch it because we're about to ruin it, and it's a great film.
Yeah, that's true. Both of those things are true.
So these fucking people.
Yeah,
sleeping in their solarium.
What's your favorite planet? That's why.
Oh my God, Nicolas Cage. If you were ever wondering what kind of card he is.
Yeah.
Wild card. Oh, you want me to answer a question?
Two answers.
Oh, what's my favorite planet? How about Galactus, the planet eater?
How about the thing that eats your favorite thing?
Fuck,
what's your favorite cat? Dog.
When you zig, Nick pulls out a knife and zags you deep.
Yeah. He carves Zorro into your chest.
When you say jump, Nick says, I'm eating your shoes. You say jump, and Nick says how high after cutting your face off and using it to fuck your wife better than you ever could. You say jump, and he nails his own feet to the floor in defiance. It's unpredictable is what I'm trying to say.
The last one's the best one. He doesn't even say anything. He just stares at you.
Yeah. Maybe screams if he's in the mood. Maybe.
If you want to know what kind of person Mandy is, that's the name of Nicolas Cage's wife, and also the name of the film. Nicolas Cage's name in this movie, by the way, is Red.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, I just call him Nick.
Like the metaphor of the colors extends to the character's name. His name's Red for a reason.
Yeah, by the end of the film.
It takes about half the movie for him to start seeing it.
Yeah. All right, well, that's good to know that he had a name and it wasn't just Nick.
Yeah,
Nick.
Yeah. So if you want, and like, I'm sure there's some kind of fucking astrological element to the fact that her favorite planet's Jupiter, but the reason it's her favorite planet is because there's a giant storm constantly swirling on its surface. So her favorite planet's Jupiter because it's a traumatic planet, like all of her memories from childhood, apparently. and her entire life because she has an unexplained massive gash in her face that's now a horrible scar.
Right. Yeah, she does.
And you don't get to know why, but it's probably from childhood trauma, as evidenced by all the childhood trauma.
Well, there's a lot of things that in this movie that they just you kind of have to pay attention for, like when they pick up Nicolas Cage in the helicopter, the dude offers him a beer and he's like, nah.
Yeah.
Later on,
yeah,
he rummages till he finds a hidden bottle of alcohol.
I'll tell you a secret about that bottle. He knew exactly where it was. He was well aware that the bottle was there. He was saving it for a special occasion. And honestly, I can't think of another better one.
Oh, yeah, because, I mean, once you see what happens to him after one drink, you can tell why he
why he said no to the beer on the helicopter.
Yeah.
That he would have Kobe'd that helicopter if he took that beer.
Right? Nothing but net.
Fuck. Nicolas Cage's favorite planet is Saturn, which, according to this woman, has ancient myths surrounding it, which foreshadows what his character becomes later on in the movie when he turns into a god of vengeance.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
she would fucking know every single thing about everything.
Yeah, well, all she does is read and sell cigarettes.
They used to think that the rings around Saturn were Jesus' foreskin.
That's cool. How'd it get all the way out there?
You know.
Would he frisbee it?
It's like one of those ones that kind of comes back a little bit. So the score, real good. Loved it. The whole movie has a great score. I don't know how to describe it other than like...
It fits what it's in.
It's like soft sci-fi is what I wrote.
Honestly, if the movie was silent, it would be playing in my head. That's how accurate of a score it is.
It's Minecraft-esque.
Yeah.
If Minecraft was about taking drugs and murdering people,
yeah,
it would be this. Very soft, but also puts you on edge.
Yeah, it's as philosophically thoughtful as the majority of the dialogue that comes from everybody except for Charles Manson in this movie.
Oh my god, the dialogue is this whole movie is people saying words, and you don't really need to listen to them.
First of all, people barely say words in this movie. The people who have the most dialogue, all right, are the two main characters and then the cult leader. And the reason he has the most lines in the movie is because he thinks he is the best thing ever.
Oh, yeah.
He's the most important thing in the movie in his own head. So he talks the most.
He looks
like Bob Odenkirk when he's lying down.
A young Bob Odenkirk, maybe.
Yeah.
He doesn't even talk. He just rambles.
That's true.
Ramble is the word I would use to describe it.
As with just about any cult leader.
Yep.
Eventually the speech runs too long.
Any cult leader or just somebody on drugs.
Yeah.
That you come across.
Fuck. This guy's like the worst guy at the fucking party.
The second
he gets ripped and you hear his life story as told by an alien.
Yeah, oh man, I'm such a deep thinker. Here's my deep thoughts. Let me shovel them out and give them to you.
Anyway, here's Wonderwall.
Pretty much.
Fuck.
I'm the loudest one at the party. Fucking, what's your favorite planet? You got a favorite?
Personally?
Yeah.
Is it, which one? I mean, Neptune? Neptune, probably.
Okay.
Because so blue. Now, ordinarily, I hate the color blue, but that's a vibrant blue.
It is.
And also doubles as the god king of the ocean. And we all, as per the tattoos on me, know that I love things in the water.
This guy loves being wet.
Oh, I like to get nice and wet.
He loves being sopping.
I don't even dip my toe. I do the full dive.
He doesn't even take his clothes off. He just gets right in.
No, and I don't take my clothes off at all.
Like a jellyfish with a pocket full of rocks.
Yeah, or sunshine.
Depends on how you look at it.
Mm.
That's that. It's daytime. Oh no,
yeah. I don't know if this is a dream or if this is because she walks around. Mandy walks around in the woods all by herself, even though she's 90 pounds wet, and there are dangerous people about, just always.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if this is a dream that she has about this dead foal in a clearing.
Oh yeah,
this Bambi, but in reverse.
Yeah,
if it was Bambi that died instead of Bambi's mom.
They're like out in the wilderness, and Nicolas Cage is like stoking a fire, and she's just nude in the water, and she's like just her eyes are coming up out of the water like she's a fucking crocodile,
like the creature from the Black Lagoon.
That's literally what I wrote.
Yep.
And then there's just a nature sound, It's the sound of a baby having a stillborn, or a baby.
Great.
It's a deer stillborn and a baby. Whatever.
That explains everything because I didn't hear the sound.
Yeah.
So when they cut to just her finding a dead fucking deer in the woods, a baby dead deer, I'm like, oh.
You know what I do is when I hear a sound like that, I stay where I am.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go, well, what was dying? And
Let me go look and see.
Let's go find out why it's dying.
I wonder if the thing that killed it is still around.
Yeah, maybe it'll get me next. Maybe I can get in line. Jesus.
And then, yeah, you know, one of my favorite things to do when I'm cuddling with you got a special someone, and you're cuddling with them on the couch watching shitty 80s cartoons and Cheddar Goblin commercials. Now, I believe 100% that commercial really aired in the 1980s, where a goblin vomits mac and cheese onto children, and they scream.
And ominously rises up from the pit of mac and cheese.
He also does that.
I fucking loved that.
And then he also looms over the kids while they're fucking drenched in his throw up.
Oh my God.
I have a hard time eating mac and cheese without it already having been eaten by someone else, let alone in that situation.
I forgot that Cheddar Goblin was in this.
Yeah.
And I, for a long time, have been like, I don't know what Cheddar Goblin is. I've seen this commercial.
Yeah.
And it's from something. I don't know what. And I was really surprised that it was from this. I thought it was from, like, some other fucked up weird movie.
It could be just a commercial that you saw as a child, too. As somebody who was alive, technically, in the 80s.
I don't think I've ever seen something like that on television.
No, we get that post that don't you put it in your mouth right there. I can see it from here.
Hey, don't put that in your mouth.
The other one with the two rats and it's cheese on a mouse trap. And I just came across this. I had forgotten about it completely.
Oh, yeah. And like, hey, should we get that? And like, let's go ask somebody.
Let's ask mom and dad. Now, here's the problem with that one is that mom and dad would be like, get that fucking cheese. I'm hungry. And then their kids die.
Like the fucking rats know what a trap is.
They haven't a clue.
Well, that's cheese, obviously.
Obviously, it's cheese. Look, it's on a plate and everything. That's nice.
I've never seen a plate like this before. So tension.
Yeah. Fuck. So when you're cuddling with your special someone, right? And you start to doze off a little bit. What I like to hear about is how when you were a child, you had to watch your father and friends beat baby birds to death in a field.
Yeah.
I love hearing that story about you at midnight.
Thanks for waking me up from my bad dream.
Oh,
to tell me worse stuff.
I was already having a bad dream. And then you're like, oh, yeah? Well, I got this for you. Also, you thought that was bad.
So, she wakes him up from a bad dream, and she's like, so what were you dreaming about? I don't know. We should move out of here, though. Like, that's great. What a great first thing to say from the dream that you apparently don't remember.
The most prophetic statement in the whole movie comes out of that. It's like, I don't know, but we should fucking leave.
We should. And she's like, but I like living here.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, it reminds me of this horrible thing that happened. My psycho dad throws a bunch of fucking... Doesn't like the starlings because they eat the cherries. So, yeah.
Like, the cherries were even good. Like, they're probably full of bugs.
Oh, fucking tons of bugs in those cherries. I've eaten worm cherries before. It's disgusting. So, anyway, I'm just out in the field playing with my friends, and he hated those starlings so bad that, well, he showed up with a pillowcase and a rod and was like, hey, you want to see something fucked up? And I was like, no. All right, anyway, let's cuddle.
Hey.
Sweet. So I don't know what the lesson was here, aside from the fact that this is probably the easiest way to kill a bird.
That's literally, she's like, yeah, my dad said he was going to teach us how to kill a starling. And then he hit a starling so hard that it buried it into the earth. She said that he clubbed it and until it like made its own grave and it was indented in the earth.
And then he looked at all of us kids and said, you know, if you want some cherries, ask first. Fuck.
That's a lesson. That's a lesson. That's a hard lesson to learn from the 70s.
That's what the snake should have done in the fucking Garden of Eden. I wouldn't have touched any apple ever again. I'll go 100 years without touching an apple.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's like, here, I've got one for everybody.
I made sure to bring it up for all you kids.
Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've got 10 baby starlings here, so we got one extra.
Let me kick this party off right.
You guys playing baseball? How about this? You You guys ever seen some fucked up shit before? You
Oh my
8-year-old
God.
kids?
I wanted to say there's so many fucking okay. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, Silence of the Lambs, 28 Days Later. Did I have a third or a fourth one? No. Okay, that's a good 3 examples right there of a scene where it's 2 people and they're together, and I mean Silence of the Lambs doesn't count in this one, but it'll be a slow zoom and they're telling a traumatic fucking story from when they were a kid. In Eternal Sunshine, it's like I was called fat and ugly by everybody in my school, every single one. And then in Silence of the Lambs, obviously, it's about the fucking screaming lambs. And then in 28 Days Later, it's that black chick detailing how all of her family and friends died around her.
And in this movie, it's beating birds to death.
Fuck yeah. I don't know. It's like a trope. I've seen it so many times.
I mean, what else are you going to do? Just film her sitting there being like, and then everybody took a turn.
In Evil Dead, it's like it's Mia in bed talking about like fucking their childhood. Yeah, you were gone and mom was dying.
I don't remember that.
It's like as she's turning, and because her fucking brother comes to the cabin for the intervention, right? And the whole thing is, we haven't seen you in years and years.
This is the new
2016 one or 2013.
Okay, all right.
No, not the Bruce
Okay.
Campbell one. No, I don't think there's anything. There's not really a slow zoom when somebody gets raped by a tree.
I would really hope that the zoom would be very quick and to the point.
The zoom and the shot and the scene would all be very quick.
I would
please.
hope the zoom would be away from the rape. And it's just in a different direction altogether, please. Not in closer upon it. Don't need to be anywhere
I would like to see
near
less. Not less is more, guys. I do like, however, that it's illuminated just enough so you can see how fucking uncomfortable Nicolas Cage is being told this story in the background. Like the look on his face is like, Jesus Christ! All right.
And then he's like, "So what did you do?" And she's like, "Well,
there's really only one right answer.
I watched everybody do it, and then when it was my turn, I ran away."
Yeah. Well, if that had ended with I killed one as well, he'd be like, "Well, I don't know what you're doing, but I'm moving."
Like I said, we need to get out of here.
At least I do.
Before I even heard that everybody took a turn, I wrote, apparently everyone took a turn by the 1,000-yard stare and the abrupt end to her story.
Oh, fuck yeah.
As you can tell by the dead look on her face, she's reliving it.
She certainly is.
She just stops talking and is like, yeah. And then 1 baby bird, 2 baby birds, 3 baby birds.
Her lambs are indeed still screaming.
They're squawking in that bag.
Wide open mouths. Hungry. Still the greatest house I've ever seen, though. I wrote that here, so.
And then so it's morning and Mandy's reading from this book.
Narrating
is it a real book?
I want to say. Somebody look up right now whether or not The Serpent's Eye is a real book.
Because whatever she's reading right now, Nicolas Cage sees in his dreams later on.
Yeah.
Whatever is happening in this, because I didn't write it down, but somebody's reaching into something and pulling out a thing.
Yeah.
And that happens later.
I think it's just the eye. I think it's just an emerald, honestly.
That's
in the book.
That's what's in the. That's what's in the animation.
But in the animation, it's an emerald out of his chest, out of the monster's chest. So probably the same thing.
Yeah.
I didn't really put that together because I was too busy being pissed off by the way that she pronounces the word Fisher.
Yes, fissure.
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 Yeah? Do I got to put a wallet in your mouth? Are you having a fissure?
I'm smelling rotten eggs by this crevice. Or is it's burnt toast, isn't it? I'm smelling.
It doesn't matter. You smell a weird thing. It could be both.
My brain is fucked up by this by this crack in the rock.
It's ravine. Just a fucking. Just the headlights through the fog super ominously when the van shows up like a murderer while she's walking.
Yeah. She's reading her book, and then we pan from away from the house into the trees where there's just a red light.
Mm-hmm.
And then it changes, the light. There is more light all of a sudden.
Tons of light.
And you can tell that what you thought might be trees are actually people. Or no, this happened later in the book.
It's later.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I'm ahead of myself here.
It's a weird time to get a phone call. We're just gonna turn that on silent there.
Ooh.
Real quick and let it ring out.
All right.
I'm on call today, so it's Thanksgiving, everyone, and I'm on call. So that's what happens.
Hey, happy Thanksgiving.
It's actually my mom, but the same thing's gonna happen.
She'll call back if it's an emergency.
Yeah, well, she can text, so I hate that she calls.
I kind of agree with that. I'm
not a phone caller.
Is somebody dying? Call me.
If it's a fucking emergency.
Anyway.
Yeah, Mandy.
So there's the red fog coming through the trees.
Yeah, so because this is what I mean when I say it's about visuals as much as it is about like anything that we could describe with words, because it's a monster coming out of the trees, but it's just van headlights. But because of the haze, the fog that she's walking through, you can't quite tell until it's a van. It just looks ominous.
And the fact that the whole thing's tinted red really puts you off. Inside of the van is like this cult, and they all look like different flavors of pervert.
The Hills Have Eyes family.
Yeah, the Hills Have Eyes family, if they all
before the radiation.
All right, I was gonna say if they had gotten their shit together.
Yeah, if they had gotten their shots.
Get your shots.
Low budget Bob Odenkirk sleeping in the front wakes up and sees a woman and decides that is his life's mission now. Which, all right, I mean, I guess you're fucking a nightmare anyway, so I guess it makes sense.
I wrote that he looks like he would at least test the waters. He would at least test the scat waters.
Oh!
He's that kind of pervert.
The scat waters.
You can shit on me if you want.
Yeah.
I
mean, only if you want.
No.
Do you want that? Because I would. Please shit on me.
Shit on my body, please.
He's got Buffalo Bill hair.
He's got eyeliner on.
Now, of course, the cult leader's name is Jeremiah.
Of course it is. And the cult, Children of the New Dawn.
Sure.
Of course, it's always Children of the New something.
Yeah, because it can't be old shit.
Yeah, nobody old. Oh, you mean old Jesus? Ew.
Ugh.
That fucking guy with the bloody hands and the love. Ugh. Bring me the guy who's a little perverted. The new one.
Yeah, I want the guy that peppers in how bad he wants his dick sucked every sermon.
I don't even want to. Yeah.
Just
give me that guy. Just give me the guy.
At least it's on its face.
And then if anybody wants to come by after the sermon and suck my dick,
yeah,
I'll be handing out wafers and saying they're the body of my dick.
I'll be putting wafers into my foreskin, and your job is to get them out.
Don't mind the wine.
Now, if you wonder how I know that this man is uncircumcised, you're gonna learn. You're gonna fucking learn real quick. Whether you like it or not, really.
You get that tidbit of information regardless of whether or not you're interested in having it.
You're gonna find all out about the Jeremiah sandworm.
You're gonna get home and ask yourself, how did this business card get in my pocket?
Fuck. Heavy manipulation. So
Jesus Christ.
We got this roving group in the van, and they're chilling at the hotel, and this is when you find out just how much of a Charles Manson this guy is, because he's basically Charles Manson's life fucking story. Later on, it becomes even more true. But this is like, yeah, I'll keep this old bitch around as a den mother. I'm going to treat her real bad, though, because she's dried up. So I saw this woman on the road that's much younger and more youthful than you. So now I want it, because I've been stuck with this wrinkly bag.
This concubine.
I've been stuffing my junk into this wrinkly purse for too long.
This cum dumpster.
Yeah.
He says, she's like, oh, you look upset. Like, did I do something wrong? And he's like, everything you do is wrong.
Duh, bitch.
No.
Go all the way down. You've done everything wrong this whole time, including age.
Yeah.
Okay?
There's nothing you can do. And he's like throwing it. He's like, go bring me her.
Yeah.
You don't even know her fucking name, man.
You don't know her name, plus I don't think this old lady saw the woman you saw. Because she was in the back, I'm pretty sure.
I wrote, you better really hope that they didn't drive by like a women's shoe store. Because which one?
God, this had better be the only woman we saw all day on the drive.
Oh, God. Well, yeah, I guess I did just drive down a dirt road in the middle of the forest.
You know, there could be more than one woman
Yeah,
out there.
They could have driven by, like, a different hut, I guess. I don't.
Yeah, a different cult in the woods. Because I'm sure there's 50,000 of them out here, given how normal it is that these ones exist. Fuck. The older gentleman in this cult's name was Brother Swan, and let me tell you. You tell me if I'm right or not.
I'll tell you.
The horn of Abraxas. That's just an ocarina. That's a fucking ocarina of time. It's got the little holes on the side, and you blow into it, and it looks the goddamn same as an ocarina.
I wrote, it's basically an ocarina from hell.
Well, there you go.
It's an ocarina that's made out of a moon rock.
It's not even horn shaped.
It's not. It's not at all horn shaped. It's an ocarina.
So they make this whole fucking plan, which is, okay, we're gonna get that horn out, and we're gonna get that lady. This is your job. I'll stay here laying down and ask for probably your daughter. To be honest, this other girl here, Lucy, is probably his daughter.
Yeah.
Probably Brother Swan's daughter, the way that he goes, send in Lucy, and his face goes, oh, please don't make me do that. But then he does anyway, and she knows what's up because she unprompted closes the door. The only time I get sent in here is for one thing and one thing only, and it's to become loosey-goosey.
How come my presence is only requested for dick sucking?
When you're laying down in bed.
He also says, hey, man, you go blow that horn.
Yeah.
And why don't you offer him up that fat piece of shit down the hallway?
Let's also talk about, they got fucking Jonah Hill from Superbad just chilling, and his job is to be a fucking sacrifice.
It's Jonah Hill from Superbad if Jonah Hill from Superbad was chemically castrated.
I wrote, yeah, dude, that 1,000-yard stare is from, that's when you get your nuts removed, whether you like it or not. I wrote, fat shaming your disciples. In fairness, I would have killed him already if only because of his fucking haircut. The dude's got Mr. Noodles on his head.
He calls him a pork or two. Like, why do you keep him around?
Isn't he like eating in the scene?
He might as well have been.
Fuck. Anyway, thanks for agreeing to kidnap a stranger for me.
Yeah.
So now bring
me your daughter.
Bring me your daughter so I can plow her for eternity.
And she knows what her job is. She knows her place in this cult because, she closes the door and says nothing.
And she puts on her best dissociative stare.
Not even a what do you want.
Just no, it's never a question.
Just I'll be quiet and I'll hold it open for you.
I'll be quiet and spread. Jeez Louise.
I want the butter on all of the toast.
So the den mother goes to fucking Mandy's convenience store that she operates. No music in the convenience store. We don't have the speakers hooked up to the Bluetooth here.
No, we don't even have a cash register. We have a cigar box.
We have a take a penny, leave a penny box. We have
a cigar box and a calculator. That's
free
the cash
library.
Register.
Yeah, the calculator is in my head because she comes out with $5. She doesn't press a single button.
I'm not gonna lie. In the 80s, if that was my job, I'd be like, I don't know. Yeah, just give me whatever. What do you have?
Yeah, what do you got?
It doesn't matter. The owners haven't been seen in 10 years.
All she's buying is like bread and an apple. So it's like, just give me some money for it.
That bread has been on the shelf for 8 years.
So she's got this book too. So this woman making the creepiest long form small talk. And when I say long form, I mean her pauses between sentences are long enough for her to get closer to death.
Yep.
So I wrote, old den mother asks what Mandy's reading at the store she works at, and her response is a novel. Like, thanks, Tips. I can see that from here. And so, like, that's the universal sign for I don't want to discuss anything with you other than how much that bread costs.
That's exactly what that means. You're here at my job.
Yeah.
Let's do my job and both be on our ways.
Let's do this transaction.
You know what this is.
Yeah.
Get in and get out.
I don't like when people are this upsetting to look at and interact with and then say, see you later. Yeah, you'll see me later with a gun. I'm closing up shop early so I can go get my gun license.
You'll see me later through the crack of the basement door I'm locking you in as I close it.
Yeah, I'll see you later from the bottom of a lake that you've thrown me in. Fuck.
Oh, yeah, so you like that novel? No, I'm just holding it in front of my face so I don't have to look at people.
I mean, yeah, half and half, you know?
Fucking, yeah, I like it. And then she's like, so you live around here. Let me tell you exactly where the fuck I live, lady. I live down the road by the lake. I'm the only house by the lake.
That's, yeah. And also, I know we're in the woods and there's many. I'll name the lake for you, too.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, here's a map.
Yes, you might as well have drawn a map.
Fucking, here, I got the GPS coordinates here right now.
She gives far too much info to a stranger about her location in the 80s.
Longitude and latitude of my house, and also my bedtime and scheduled visits from my family.
This is 1983. There have been 2 to 3 Friday the 13th movies.
That's
what
true.
are you giving your location out for?
Charles Manson was charged and convicted less than 10 years ago.
Charles Manson is in the fucking van.
He's also in the van.
Anyway, yeah. So in case you were wondering, 1983.
Yeah.
That's about as much as people gave a shit about their safety.
They left doors open in the night.
Yeah. Oh, man. Basically just held their assholes open and just waited. Just walked around being like,
is it going to happen yet?
They just hold their wallet open and just next to their open butthole.
Announcing, I have money.
Take what you need.
It's a freely available.
Take a penny, leave some cum in my ass. Anyway.
Good God.
So, fucking cut to a bunch of white dudes sitting in a van in a field at night. Uh-oh.
Yeah. Why does Mullet...
Never a good scene.
Why does Mullet, because I didn't catch his name, I just called him Mullet.
Mullet.
Why does Mullet look like he's struggling to breathe and use his eyes at the same time constantly?
Is Mullet the one who,
breathes through his mouth to the side.
If you had to describe the way his jaw is, would you describe it as slacked?
I would describe it as crooked. I would describe it as he doesn't have enough brain cells to keep his lower jaw in line with his upper.
You and I are on the same page about what character we are talking about.
That's right.
Because he sits there after... Okay, so, all right. So the guy gets out of the van, and he...
Yeah.
Brother Swan.
Swan.
He blasts a mad whistle on this ocarina.
He blows SpongeBob's magic conch into the tree line.
Does it twice. Yeah. Nothing happens.
One more time for saves.
And then they get in. He gets back in the vehicle, and he's like, "All right, so now we wait."
And this guy, let me tell you, waiting, not his strong suit.
That he's definitely not he's not somebody to sit still, I'll tell you that.
Getting so pissed off at this mongoloid for fucking around with the automatic windows. Brother Swan is like a tired dad on a road trip.
And it's the 80s, so that window is the loudest thing in the Tri-County area.
That's right. And you can see the look on his face, like he's just like, I'm going to turn this van around. We will not go to Disney World.
Get your head in the vehicle.
You fucking, and like what? Because and this is, again, if you're wondering about this gentleman's mental fortitude with the mullet, first of all, he has a mullet. And it's a 1090. It's not even a good one. It's an STLB front to back. And STLB, for everybody listening on the podcast, stands for short top, long back. It's also known as a 1090 because that's the percentage ratio of hair you have, top to bottom. Also known as, in this guy's case, an STLB SSWT, which is a short top, long back, short sides with tail.
Jesus Christ.
The worst kind to have. That's straight from Bam Margera's mouth, just so everybody knows.
And Bam Margera is, I would say, the leading expert
on white trash. Yep.
On trash in general. So yeah, I couldn't tell if I wrote the stupid looking one fucks with the electric window, and I can't tell if he's being a dick.
Yeah.
Or if he's actually like
I think
mentally.
I think he needs to look, and it's a whole process for him.
Yeah, because he does it about 5 or 6 times.
Yep, he does, and I wouldn't have the patience to wait 5 or 6 times. That hand's getting slapped.
No, I would hit the child lock immediately.
Yep.
No.
You get a crack. I don't want you trying to escape like a dog.
Yeah, you might fall out the window.
Fuck. So you got this fucking entirely cool horn, and you blow it just so that the Mad Max hillbillies from Hellraiser can just come out through the woods.
Yeah.
Like the defenders of a forest weed grow up that's illegal.
That's exactly
you have
what
bikes
this
and
seems like.
ATVs, and the only difference is you are dressed for as a Cenobite for Halloween.
Can I let me just wrote this is what I wrote. If there's already a Hell's Angels, then these guys are double Hell's Angels.
Yeah, Hell's Satans,
where the Hell's Angels,
which is from The Simpsons, actually,
I think it is. Where the Hell's Angels leather may stop at clothing, these guys have a leather lifestyle.
They live in it's like Judas Priest.
Cenobites on bikes.
Yeah, Cenobikes.
Hell's Razor Angels. And you can tell it's the 80s because the one guy, I'm pretty sure, is driving the three-wheeler they're not allowed to make anymore.
Nice.
The one where it's one wheel in front, and if you turn, you die.
Yeah, you tip. You just go over immediately.
They might as well just be a wheelbarrow.
They have them still. The difference is that super wide wheelbase in order to prevent that.
Yeah,
and
smart.
Very low to the ground in order to prevent that.
Smart.
And also, the one similarity between that bike and the Polaris, which is the one you can get now, is that you still end up with bugs in your teeth. Not worth.
No.
Not worth.
No.
I know every motorcyclist ever doesn't have to eat meat because they swallow enough protein on the road. I'm not talking about semen, but that's a double joke, I guess.
Just truckers just chucking it out the window. Here you go, bikers. Have some semen.
Yeah.
Here you go, guys.
The way I describe these bikers is thorny as fuck. All thorned up. The Hammer from 13 Ghosts is visiting. Also, all the members of his Norwegian black metal band.
Yeah, this is like Slipknot.
It's Mushroom Head.
This is Slipknot if Slipknot liked Mushroom Head and also Slipknot. If Slipknot's favorite band was Slipknot, this would be Slipknot.
A little bit of Marilyn Manson sprinkled in there.
You take a face hugger, you attach it to a xenomorph.
Yeah.
You get a super xenomorph. Slipknot, you mix them with Slipknot. This is what you get.
You get a more slippery knot.
You've got more spikes than you've ever seen before.
Fuck, and these guys do look slippery, but I think that's just the reflections of leather.
I to be honest, think these guys might just be like 80% Vaseline.
Yeah, well, in order to get in and out of that?
Yeah, I think they might have Vaselined up. The other percent is just leather.
They didn't even use Vaseline. You know what they used? The LSD goo that he drinks out of the jar.
That's what that is.
Full mouthfuls. Well, it's either that or blood fat. Because the way that he drinks it and then immediately looks at Brother Swan and goes, I want more blood.
Blood for blood,
Blood
buddy.
for blood, man. Tit for tat.
Yeah, he when he brings the jar down, there's just 2 strands. So it's got to be a viscous liquid.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Yeah, blood for blood. Now, we don't ever find out what they want the chubby guy for. But
food.
But then there are the implications.
I imagine food. Well, yeah, food after. Something else first.
Because we
more like the gimplications.
We do see later 2 elderly people who they've dispatched.
Yeah. Who appeared to have been in compromising positions beforehand.
Yeah.
Is how I'll describe that.
Beforehand, I think they were put into those positions, but that's me. Just based on the character of these characters.
The scene in this movie where I can tell that Red and Mandy, Nicolas Cage and his wife, are 100% in love, is that they can both sit on a couch and be completely enthralled by a movie that's of the quality of Plan 9 from outer space. You know you're perfect for each other if you can both sit through Twilight.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's fair.
So enthralled by the movie that they're barely eating.
Yeah, Nicolas Cage has put his fork down.
Yeah. He looks away for 3 seconds to cut steak. This is the best movie ever. And they both think that, which means that they're married and they're going to be together for the rest of their lives.
And it's 1983, so it doesn't take much. This is the first time they've ever seen anything ever.
This movie's probably great.
Yeah.
In 1983, this is a AAA film.
And you can tell it's 1983 by the way they've got a snack tray they're eating off of.
I love those things.
They haven't evolved past that yet to the point where people are just like, fuck it, I'm gonna hold the bowl.
Yeah, hold the bowl, or now we still have them. We just call them charcuterie boards now.
Ah.
You know?
So you just have
It's the same damn thing. The only difference is handles.
handles and like like a stand that it goes onto.
Yeah. God,
The times are changing.
I was never a huge fan of TV dinners, but I understand what it meant for the people who were forced to eat them. It's a family moment.
Forced to, or
Gather
like,
around the television and not the dinner table. We're just gonna bring the tables to us.
that's the way it should be.
That is,
Like, well, what are you doing not having television at the table?
but yeah, fuck you if you don't have that.
And then I'm not allowed to put my elbows on the table? Fuck off.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to wear a hat.
Fuck off.
Yeah, man.
Fuck off.
I'm
Fuck off
over
with
it.
your house.
Yeah.
Fuck off with your dinner table.
Yeah, what, you make this house a home with your dinner table?
Oh, I come in my wife's pussy.
Oh, yeah, it's great the way I fuck my wife and have kids.
Elbows off the dinner table. I get on top of my wife and she's never on top of me. That's the kind of house we're in. Take your hat off and don't say fuck at the table.
You better lead grace.
You better lead it, you fuck.
Said every premature, only ever missionary dad ever.
Yeah.
We only fuck for kids in this house.
Well, and like the only way you can make a kid is by missionary position. We all know
That's right.
that.
Yeah.
Any
And-
other position
yeah.
does not bear fruit.
And then you make your wife do pelvic bowl exercises afterward
That's
in order
right.
to get it real deep.
I want you to hold that cum in there.
I want you to keep that trap shut.
Oh, I want it to ferment.
I'm not sure I'd be 100%. This is like what I said, comfortable sleeping in a room that could be seen into from all sides.
No, absolutely not.
That's problematic.
And if so, I'm not putting my head at the window.
Yeah.
That's where feet go.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I just saw this post, and I think you're going to agree. But there are acceptable and unacceptable bed positions in a bedroom. Okay?
Okay.
It had better be against at least one wall.
Okay.
I don't care if headboard. Okay? Sides, that's cool. If it's the footboard, you're a fucking psycho. And if it's just in the center of the room, you're worse than a psycho.
Or you're a millionaire.
And it better be a fucking circular bed then. That's the only time.
What about a
And it
bed
spins.
with like a huge canopy? And it's just like in the middle of a nice room.
And
you
it
know?
better be more opaque than a mosquito net.
And like the
Is
headboard
what I'll say to that.
What if the headboard is so much that it
It is a wall?
Basically.
Then fine.
All
You've
right.
created one.
bam.
It still counts as a wall.
Yes.
All I'm saying, if you're doing no frame, just box spring and mattress, dead center of a bedroom, I don't want to meet your family.
You're also doing heroin.
Yeah, you are, because you rarely make it to the bed. It doesn't matter where you fall.
Yeah, you dragged it in there because you found it outside, and that's just where it goes. Whether or
Yeah.
not you use it as a bed,
Yep.
yeah.
So, a giant window is not a wall. So this is not an acceptable bed position.
This is true.
There are rooms in this house that have fewer windows. Pick one of those.
There has to be.
That should be the room with the plants in it. That should be the room with the day bed where she sits and reads.
Yeah, the vegetables should be vegging out in there.
Yeah,
Not the Mandy.
not the Mandy.
So
Speaking of vegetables, everybody in that van.
just a bunch of them.
Fuck.
This is where we pan up from like the blue light of safety in the house
Yeah.
to the red light in the forest that reveals like leather daddies.
Right on the tree line. And then the safe blue light flickers like a fucking Rammstein live show. And let me tell you, I would not be sleeping through that.
No.
No, I wake up immediately. If I'm gonna have an epileptic seizure in my dream, I'll wake up.
You know what? If you're gonna keep the light on while I'm sleeping, I'm gonna go to a different room.
That's fair. Well, television though.
I mean, that's still not this much light.
I'll tell you what I'll do, right? Usually is I fall asleep with the TV on because I don't fall asleep so much as I pass out, because I don't know who's out here raw dogging falling asleep. But
I do podcasts.
let me tell you, I had better have an occupied brain until suddenly it's not.
Absolutely.
Is how I fall asleep.
Yeah.
So the TV is on. And then inevitably I wake up 4 times a night, so one of those times I shut it off then.
Really? You don't just hit yes, I'm still watching? Because that's what I
I will a couple times, yeah. But if I'm finding it difficult to get back to sleep at like 2 in the morning, then I turn the TV off, spend an hour going through all the anxious thoughts I have and memories from 6th grade that are still embarrassing, and then I'll drift off.
Yeah, you shouldn't do that.
Yeah, tell that to my dumb brain, though.
Imagine just having like a melatonin and like
I can imagine, because
And
it's great. It's great for 4 days.
just
And then the
drifting off?
5th one is 5 melatonins because they stopped working, and then I wake up like a zombie.
I just I just turn it off.
With the brain?
Yeah.
That must be nice.
Well, I mean, like
I don't know what that's like to do that.
I keep it occupied with a podcast, but then I'm just like, all right, no more now.
No.
That's enough. That's enough consciousness, and then
It's the same principle, and I do this as well, but I sleep with a fan on.
Yeah.
Because I need background noise. I need something in the background.
white noise. Yeah,
Because that's the part of my brain that yells the loudest when it's dark.
that's true.
So.
That's true.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Fucking.
They're in the house. It's too late.
Yeah. In this scene, Mandy gets kidnapped and Nicolas Cage gets strung up like Jesus. Except the crown of thorns is around his wrists this time.
And in his mouth.
Also
Yeah.
in his mouth a lot. Like real tight. That looks like it hurt for real to have in your mouth.
It had to have.
You know? It's so fucking tight, she said. So it's like the lights flickering and then they get got by everyone.
Yeah, all of a sudden it's a Slipknot concert at the foot of their bed.
It sure is.
And
they're in the pit.
and out of the window you see like the porker.
Yeah.
And he's just like watching it happen.
Yeah,
like,
and then he gets sucked into the abyss by his face.
Just 2 hands on each side, and then just like he puts his hand out like no, but you know he's like just walking backwards as this person is just pulling on him.
Also, like
stop walking. Duck down.
The way that he gets grabbed lends credence to your theory about what happens to him because the guy is just like, hey, give me that face. That's where the mouth hole is.
Oh, I wish I didn't give credence to that. So yeah, Nick gets knocked out and Mandy gets bagged.
Yeah.
And he like wakes up in a shed or something.
I think yeah. And she wakes up, well, she doesn't, I don't know if she wakes up, but she's at a table.
And they're like, yeah, don't worry, those scary men are gone.
Yeah, how about the rest of you?
How about
Are the rest of you still here? Well, then it's still problems.
How about you actually you've chained the scary man up outside. The scary man, like...
Yeah, you don't know the scary man.
Yeah, Mandy really has nothing to be afraid of because
No.
the scary man just needs to find the bottle in the bathroom.
Yeah, give the scary man a quick sec.
Yeah, you probably should have tied the scary man up a little more.
Yeah, more. It's never a positive when a stranger asks you to be a good girl.
Mm-hmm.
That's never the kind of good you want to be.
No, certainly not in this situation.
I like that this old lady is just so fucking jealous.
I'm
smacks Mandy in the face. You fucking, I wish I had a tight pussy still. Here, have this hornet in your neck.
How dare you flaunt that around the forest?
God, I wish I wasn't loose and blown out.
This is your fault this is happening to you.
They give her some LSD right to her eye, which is the fastest way to get LSD. That's the fastest way to have it.
It's also probably the easiest way to force it on somebody.
Yeah, I imagine.
Or
you could like let it melt in your pocket.
They give her that, and then they sting her with the craziest bee I've ever seen.
This is like this. If you have any idea what like the giant Japanese hornets look like, imagine that but black. And this is what, and she's like, I call this the cherry on top. Cool. Where's where's Coyote Peterson when you need him? He probably would have just sat there and been like, nice.
What is a Coyote Peterson?
That's the guy that gets stung by every stingable thing on YouTube with
the
cowboy hat.
Fuck.
Yeah.
All right.
He would take this to like a fucking champ.
Well, yeah.
Like Carl and Aqua Teen Hunger Force, when they're immortal and he gets the electric chair, they sting Coyote Peterson in the neck. He just goes, that felt good.
Fuck. It's like that episode of American Dad where they're trying to make snake venom. And Rogers is like he's like a Coyote Peterson character. Yeah, and he's got the clackers. He's like, oh man, he's in the bag with the snake and he doesn't have his clackers. He's fucked.
His fucking clackers, dude.
This is the thing that upsets me about this bug is that it's perfectly cool with being kept in a jar full of liquid.
Yeah, I mean that's its natural habitat probably. They
Just
like
in a
warm,
little
moist
jar.
areas. Yeah,
Feels
he comes
safe
out.
in there.
He comes out to sting, and that's it.
Put
like
me back in the jar now.
He's like the bear Jew. He's like, oh, it's my turn.
Give me the bat. I'm stepping up to the plate.
Yeah, here we go. Show me this Mandy. Right here I wrote Mandy needs a trip sitter.
She's
all by herself in this fucking cult room. The group fuck room. Let's call it what it is. All right, they lead her down the fucking hallway high as shit, and they sit her down at the foot of the giant bed and couch, big enough for all 7 of them to fuck on at the same time.
This is their couch.
Yes.
They're still in their own home.
I keep forgetting that part.
Me
That's
too.
The best. Because, like, they make it their own.
They just make
for the time
themselves
they live
right
there.
at home.
They sure do. Well, as it turns out, Mandy's got an orgy couch.
Yeah,
That's
Mandy.
fine.
Let's not gloss
Nicolas Cage
over.
seems like the type of person to put you in a couple positions before he's finished. So you need a lot of space.
He looks like the kind of guy who would growl as,
Yeah,
as
dude.
he's coming.
He yells like he does in the bathroom.
I'm about to arrive.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that noise. That noise.
Fucking when the old lady drips the LSD in her eye, she licks the tincture clean.
Yeah, just a little extra for you. It's like when you're done with the coke, you rub it on your gums.
Yeah,
you know?
but then are we all sharing that?
Oh yeah,
That's going right back in the jar,
yeah.
huh?
I haven't seen any hand sanitizer in this whole place. You got Chinese food everywhere.
Nobody ever got sick in the 80s.
I like that the shot is framed like this group, this cult is like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre family. Like when whatever her name is wakes up at the fucking table.
Yeah, they're all all just like laying over top of each other.
Or in
chilling.
the sequel with Bill Moseley and the chrome the plate in his head that he keeps scratching with the fucking coat hanger, and I hate it.
I don't remember that, but I believe it happened.
He's got a lighter and a coat hanger, and he just fucking
Right.
he makes it hot, and then he scrapes a little bit more of his head off.
I do remember.
All movie.
Great.
Holy fuck.
Great.
You get to have more of that memory for now.
Fuck yeah. Love it. I'll be oppressing that right after you leave.
And this is where we find out that the director of this movie is a huge Charles Manson fan. Because, yes. Because, first of all, fucking Jeremiah gets up and he goes, "What do you see?" And Mandy says, "I see the Reaper fast approaching," which is a foreshadow.
Oh, is
Now,
it ever?
It's a double foreshadow, and the first one's a red herring. Because when you hear that statement, you think, oh, okay, she's saying that she's well aware she's going to die here. No. No.
Not at all.
Whether or not that happens, the Reaper is something very different, and you're going to learn exactly what.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But, so in purely Manson form, Jeremiah likens his own music to that of the Carpenters, because Charles Manson did that with the Beach Boys and his Little Acoustic. And then he goes on this whole thing about how he was rejected by Hollywood, like Charles Manson was with his acoustic album that was like the Beach Boys.
And the song that he plays, first of all, brought his own record to this house.
Sure did.
Assumed they had a record player.
Yeah.
And like
safe assumption in Hippies 83.
Is the song is about him.
Yes, it is.
And it's a song that he made about himself being like great.
And it's also the kind of song that Jim Jones would have made about himself.
That's exactly the kind of song Jim Jones would have made about himself.
I'm the light and the Lord, and I'm everything. I encapsulate all. And then this is supposed to be his fucking big preamble before the huge reveal. This is the whole thing that he's done multiple times. I can guarantee it.
Oh, yeah.
I almost bet you Lucy got enthralled by this because, well, she's probably the victim of inbreeding. But the fucking, my song, and you're going to fucking love this song. It's going to put you into a fucking transcendental haze. Pardon me, well, here's my dick. Here's my fucking dick and balls. And let me tell you, right here in caps, nice dick, bro. Why is the urethral hole so gaped? You been sounding? Also, your song kind of sucks, dude.
I described it as a reverse Silence of the Lambs.
Yes.
Because he's not tucked.
No, he's not. He's very much untucked.
It's coming out the front.
Not only that, it's not tuckable.
It's chilly. It's chilly on the shadowy mountain.
It must be. Couple things in between here. There's a double close-up two-shot, okay, where he's trying to get her into the fucking LSD haze that is really the only time anybody's willing to fuck him. And I like a lot that instead of cutting from close-up shot of him to Mandy, they just fade their faces back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see that.
No.
That's a cool way to do a 2-shot.
It's a very 80s thing, I feel like.
Yeah, it probably is more common in the 80s.
We should mention that this scene is in purple.
Yes, it is.
And they've added a trailing strobe.
Yeah, ghosting.
So he'll like move, but his arms will like
back and forth.
If you've seen any 80s music video, you know what I'm talking about.
Any Michael Jackson, any Michael Jackson from when he was still black.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah. Except Beat It. I don't in the billiard room, not the pool hall, the billiard hall.
The billiard room.
It is not a pool table. It is a billiard table.
Yeah.
I think it's the only one I can think of.
I'm not sure there's a difference, but
there
between
is.
Pool and billiards, is there?
Holes in the table. One pool's got them, billiards don't.
Billiards have the net?
I don't know.
They must have like the net instead in the pockets.
No, there's no pockets.
You might be thinking of snooker, sir.
Well, then whatever those tables are the tables in the Beat It thing, because there's no holes, and people are like, well, why are there no holes in the pool table? Because it's not a fucking pool table.
Yeah, it's a fucking snooker table, but they still got cues. Explain that.
I don't know how you play snooker,
I think
but
you do play snooker with a pool cue. It has like the little fucking red and white rods on it instead, and you're supposed to like hit them.
I don't think I'm allowed to say those words. So
sorry, snooker.
Snooky? The snooky table?
You can say it when you're talking about a wrestler.
All right, good.
Why? What is it? Superfly Snooker?
The Rock?
Not quite. Fucking dude goes on to describe being covered in a thick, hot, stinky, soupy light. There's nothing appealing about the way that he describes God speaking to him.
Yeah.
He filled me with warm waves of pure heat. So he came in you.
Oh,
he busted up in you.
His light was
all
real
up
hot.
in you.
Real hot and yellow.
Hot, white, thick light enveloped me.
Fuck it.
You got bukkakied by Jesus, and now you think you are him? What, do you absorb him through his nut?
He let his golden shower rain down upon me.
Yeah, maybe it's piss.
Now I stink of somebody who hasn't had enough water.
Now I stink.
He tells Mandy, he's like, and he says this right in front of his like concubine.
Yeah.
I've been blessed to know the comfort of many women.
Tons of them.
But there have been few.
Very
that
few.
Have had your radiance.
Radiance?
So first of all, not only has he fucked a lot.
Yeah.
He fucks people who he doesn't even think he just fucks people.
Yeah, no, sometimes you gotta.
And only few of them have had her radiance. Certainly not anybody else in the room.
It's like there's a South Park episode where Cartman decides he's gonna be a not a Formula racer, a NASCAR racer, and he has to get stupid. So he starts eating Vagisil.
Okay.
Because something about it stunts mental growth in children if you're using it while pregnant. So he thinks it's gonna turn him into a NASCAR tard. A NASCAR.
Oh my.
Anyway, the spokesperson for Vagisil in the episode is like, I got the idea from my wife. She's my muse, my flame. And then he later on like continues to advertise Vagisil while she's in the room. And part of it is like he keeps emphasizing how important it is to fucking use Vagisil, please. He's like, some women may need to use Vagisil every day. Every day. And she's just back there getting sadder.
Jesus Christ.
Anyway, it's like that. I've had a lot of twat in my life, and some of it was pretty gross.
Not all of it was radiant.
Some of it was gross and old and wrinkly.
Some of it was in this room.
Some of it I should have had 30 to 40 years ago.
Some of it I think I might be able to smell right now. I can't tell if it's Brother Snow, though, or Brother Swan.
Brother Swan.
Like, Mandy just fucking laughs. Because she's like, you
Oh.
made this song? And it's about you? That's
Yeah.
hilarious. Because it's fucking hilarious.
First of all, it is hilarious. Secondly, I think the majority of the reason why she's laughing is because she's seen everything. She's seen it all. She's like, I got news for you, bro. I got Nicolas Cage back home. You think that's gonna do anything?
You call that a hammer? It's a ball peen.
That's a ball peen hammer. My husband's nickname is Sledge. Fuck.
Oh my god.
Oh, jeez, Louise.
So his response to the laughter is to just jerk his dick
Oh,
angrily.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Jerk his dick and say, don't look at me, anyone.
Yeah.
Nobody make eye contact with me while I'm dicking around.
And obviously, well, I mean, I couldn't get hard if somebody was laughing hysterically at it.
It would be impossible.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, he's trying to fluff himself. It's like, even this doesn't work. God, I feel humiliated. This is the way that Mandy gets Louis C.K'd when she doesn't like Jeremiah's music.
does she ever? No
Fucking
stage time.
Just sit there laughing while I beat off to your scathing album review. God. Where's Anthony Fantano? He'd have some horrible things to say.
Earlier, but when they were giving her the LSD, they were like, yeah, if you be a good girl, nothing bad's gonna happen to your man. Well, I think I don't think laughing at his tiny dick.
I don't think that's a good girl move.
I don't think that was a good girl move
It's a
at
very
all.
naughty girl move.
It's kind of a stupid bitch thing to do.
It takes balls that are bigger than Jeremiah's to laugh hysterically at your captor's penis.
I'm not gonna lie. Didn't even see balls. Were there balls?
I mean, it was probably like a coin purse hidden up in.
But, there's a lot of people in the room. Mine aren't. There's gonna be some tension. They're snapped up there.
Yeah,
it's cold.
I mean, I'd be stressed having them out anyway, so they're gonna want to retreat. Also, for somebody who has such a lackluster package, fucking Buddy sure loves to be ass naked.
Sure does.
His favorite
Sure
thing to
does.
be in the woods is naked as fuck. It's probably because the brush covers it, like you can't see the tree for the forest.
Yeah. Well, I mean, his forest was fucking scorched earth. There was none.
It was scorched earth. Napalm. So that I guess since that was so humiliating, I gotta have a conversation with my own fucking intrusive thoughts in the mirror and decide that murder is the only option. But before we do that, I'm gonna make this chick play Russian roulette in front of your face, Nicolas Cage.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You think Mandy loves you? Well, watch what this girl's gonna do to me when she kneels. And then he gives her a gun. And
I really thought that he was gonna just get head.
yeah, I was like, yeah. See that's love.
That's real love right there.
See how she's just doing that, and
Yeah.
I didn't even have to ask twice.
Yeah, and she didn't laugh. That's why I'm so rock solid.
I'm rock solid in the presence of two other men.
I like that he says, show him how much you love me.
And
Which
then,
is about as much as Christopher Walken loves Russian roulette and Raging Bull, which is not at all. He hates Vietnamese people after that.
oh God, the only movie with Christopher Walken in it that comes to mind is fucking Joe Dirt.
Why?
And I'm pretty sure he's like, yeah, he was gonna take your skin and wear it with his penis tucked up in there.
It's your Walken impression?
It is. It's not a very good one.
Amazing. That's so good.
It's
tucked up in there. And then they pull out the dagger. This is the tainted blade of the Pale Knight, straight from the adult section of Spirit Halloween. I mean the abyssal layer. Is the abyss right? That's what it is. Yeah.
It fucking absolutely looks like something you would buy, a one-off at Spirit Halloween that goes with nothing.
It's got a fucking like a cat's eye in it.
It's got faux fur around the handle.
Sometimes you got to get stabbed in the side like Jesus. So, I don't know. I find it funny that Jeremiah's throwaway line here it's not a throwaway line, but it's contextual. But you know what the problem with Jesus was? He didn't just stab somebody else in the side and hang them up on the cross. Nah, he was a retard and did it himself. So here you go. Boink.
Yep. Oh yeah. And it's not like they just cut Nicholas. That knife goes all of the way into his body.
It does. And you'll notice it's in the same spot as the spear on Jesus during the crucifixion.
Whoopsies.
Ooh. So now, and this is interesting. Keep that in mind. That location, the way that he's hung by thorns.
Uh-oh.
And also, yeah.
Uh-oh.
Just go ahead.
Uh-oh.
So then they bring her out in a sleeping bag, and they do the same thing Jason does to the chick in the Friday the 13th remake.
Yeah, he
might
does.
even do it in the original. I don't remember.
He definitely does it in the remake for sure.
Yeah, which is just to put that bag over the fire and roast some marshmallows.
The first like bunch of times I watched this movie, I guess I didn't realize that they actually just killed her.
Yeah.
That it is Mandy in the bag.
It is.
And it's not.
You can tell by the way her charred mouth is screaming.
Well, I thought
was nice.
I thought they just had like killed somebody else and like were like trying to make him think that she was dead so he wouldn't come after her.
Right.
And then like
But then the fact that you never see her for the rest of the movie.
Yeah, I clued into that this time I watched it. The whole movie, like I was like, who the fuck is Mandy? This is a crazy film. I love this. I forgot all about her existence.
Yeah.
But this time I remembered, oh yeah. Yeah, Mandy. I forgot about Mandy.
Yeah.
You know, she's fucking dead.
The entire motivation. She's dead as fuck.
Yeah, they all kind of just watch as like the bag just kind of thrashes around.
Yeah. Mullet decides that he's got to check the integrity of his teeth real quick while he's hanging the rope.
Oh, he licks the fuck out of those teeth.
And that old lady in the back is just stoked there's one less fucking
one less hole to compete with.
Yeah. One less distracting vagina in the neighborhood.
Yup. So much for her, like, calling out to him. I saw you and you called out to me silently. But then you laughed at my little dick. So that was that. That was the end of that interaction. I murdered her.
Fuck, I wish I'd hung up the phone.
Yeah. Jeez, I would have kept driving.
Holy shit. So because this happens, and then we get a slow fade out while he's sobbing uncontrollably while he's watching his wife die before his very eyes. This happens exactly halfway through the movie.
Sure does.
Which primes the rest of the movie for nothing but vengeance. And somebody like a viewer watching who's seen many, many horror movies, this isn't like John Wick where you get the motivation within the first 10 minutes. This is like, we get character development and establishment, so it actually matters when one of them dies. We get pretty much a full gamut of what weirdness is going on surrounding it. And then now it's just, oh shit. When these lights go up, it's Nicolas Cage time.
1 hour into the film, you get the title card to the movie, if that helps.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't see the word Mandy until halfway through the film.
It's basic. So those title cards, I think, are just like I think they're separating acts.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah, totally. So Mandy time, and you can tell because it's a fucking death metal logo that grows slowly.
Oh my god.
That it's Mandy time when I say so.
If you were wondering about the tone to the film, look at the logo. Look at the logo. That you should just know that it's gonna be screaming nonsense.
Oh yes. So animated dream sequence, but the only thing I question about this movie, because like a lot of it's pretty airtight given how psychedelic it is. They stabbed him, right?
Yeah.
They had enough time to pack up all their shit, get into cars, cut down the sleeping bag with the charred remains of a woman in it, and then peace out. And nobody thought to check to see if he was actually dying.
Well,
they were just like, well, I'm sure he'll die.
They're on LSD.
But he's just there hanging like, I'm just wait, dude. Just wait until this power nap.
I'm going to recharge my battery, and then I will rendezvous with you later.
We'll be in touch.
Just a little disco nap. I'm gonna pregame, and I'll meet you at the party.
Holy fuck. Also the fact that it fades out and then Nicolas Cage is clearly a different person. This is resurrection and transformation. You know, he pulls himself down from the cross that he was strung up upon.
He yanks his flesh out of the
that
barbed wire
That's right.
he's tied up with.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't really give a shit about the gaping wound in his stomach. He's like, I'm sure that'll heal.
Nothing's coming out of it, so
you know what?
Good.
For good measure, I'd better go into the bathroom and sanitize my entire body, inside and out.
We get a scene where he crawls toward the smoldering ashes, and then there's just a skull that turns to dust, a la the Terminator.
Yup.
That's good. I liked it.
Consume the flesh of his vengeance. All right.
Yep, it's good.
Goes in, finds her shirt, totem, and then takes another nap in bed.
Yeah, and then he has that vision of dead naked anime Mandy.
Yeah, Mandy.
That's all he needed.
That was it. So that was the thing that pushed me. Is okay, it's time. I'm thirsty.
First of all, we need some 90% rubbing alcohol for this wound.
Yeah.
And the wound is his heart. So
yeah, that's it, and that's inside.
Applied directly to wound.
That's
yes.
right. So Nicolas Cage does. He consumes what I can only describe as a dangerous amount of vodka in a short period of time.
You mean the entire bottle?
I mean, very nearly the entire. Whatever's not on him is now in him.
What he doesn't splash, like the very little amount he splashes on his wounds.
Well, that was as a waste. The biggest wound is inside, you know?
So, like, him scouring for that bottle that he knew exactly where it was.
Yep. That's the emergency funds.
Yeah, that's
okay?
the...
And we're going to the bank.
That's his fucking Popeye spinach. Because,
that's fucking Bugs Bunny zippy water in there.
that's
Space Jam water.
That's Honey Boo Boo's go-go juice.
Fuck.
So... this like leads me to believe that he probably has a problem.
Yeah, or had.
Maybe he shouldn't be drinking for a fucking reason. And I think it's the way he, like, you know, he chugs it, his emotions turn to screaming.
Yeah.
He chugs it, he begins weeping.
Yeah.
He chugs it again.
Nicholas Rage.
And then it's just dead eyes.
Yes. And so he basically fast-tracked going from completely clean and sober to blackout drunk.
He went through the
He's
fucking...
like, how can I do this the fastest way possible?
Every stage of grief in like 5 seconds and half a bottle.
Sure did. And I don't know if you noticed, but my theory about why Mandy was laughing, based on what I see below deck, is 100% true. Because those briefs don't leave much to the imagination.
Yeah, for some reason, they felt the need to strip off Nicolas Cage's underpants.
Here's your fucking package, bro.
They stripped off his pants but left his underwear on.
Yeah.
Like I said, they're all different flavors of pervert.
They sure... Either that or that's just how he sleeps and they never dressed him. Because I sleep in a shirt.
That's fucking rude.
Yeah, I mean, put some slacks on the guy. You're taking him outside.
It's cold. It's cold out there. What if somebody comes by and sees him? And that's embarrassing.
That's the problem. That's what you got to worry about.
When your house catches fire in the night, then you got to throw your pants on. What are you going to do? Run out there in your underwear?
So, yeah, and after Nicolas Cage does exactly what I would do if my wife was killed, which is skull 2/3 of a bottle of vodka in 30 seconds. Scream.
Like he's getting into character.
For a different movie.
He's literally getting into character for the film in the film.
Yeah. He's getting into Mandy mode. Like he's Mandy moding.
His screams go from like short like to just growls and then just nothing.
For a really brief period, he channels Jim Carrey and Ace Ventura when nature calls when he's got the spears in his thighs.
Oh yeah.
It like it builds.
Yeah. Oh Jesus. So cut to him driving.
Yes.
You know?
Right after that.
What you gotta do, what you do is you want to get on your dead wife's shirt after you've had a bottle of vodka and just get behind the wheel.
Yeah, and you want to drive to your buddy Carruthers' house.
Is that his name, Carruthers? Please don't let it be Carruthers.
It is.
It can't be.
And he also resembles Scatman Crothers. So I don't know if that was on purpose or what, but Scatman Crothers sort of has the same character as Scatman Crothers in The Shining as well, which is, I have all the information you need.
Oh, yeah, you need, I've been holding on to this for you.
Yeah, the crossbow that... Now, it's called the Reaper, which means that this crossbow being held on to by someone who's not Nicolas Cage, but for Nicolas Cage, has been used in the past to reap. Probably exactly in this way. Because when he goes, what do you need it for? And Nicolas Cage goes, I'm going hunting. Dude doesn't blink. He goes, oh, I see.
Yeah, what are you hunting for? Jesus freaks. I didn't realize that they were in season, is what he fucking says. Also, when Nick first gets there, he knocks on the door, and on the door is written, fuck off.
Yes, it is.
And you just hear him go,
can't you read?
Yeah.
Can't you fucking read? I wrote that on purpose.
Oh,
I couldn't afford a welcome mat. I like the best thing in this. So the bikers are called the Black Skulls. What I do like about this movie, okay, this is like the best example of it doing it, but it does it a couple other times, is you get presented with something that appears to be supernatural, right?
Yep.
Or like extra dimensional or somehow otherworldly, and then you get hit with just a real world explanation for that.
I really liked it.
So you kind of get both. You get like the cool, like I'm in another world. This is the director's world and it's completely different. Not completely different, but it's like other things are possible. And then also just the grittiest fucking reality, which is Yeah, these are just Hell's Angels that ran LSD, and one time the guy who made it got sick of them, so he just gave them some bad LSD.
Pretty much, yeah.
And now they suck the goo out of a jar.
And now they, for some reason, don't feel pain, but
Yeah.
love to feel pain.
Yeah. And again, Cenobites. All right? So my favorite part of this scene between these two, though, is him being like, listen, I've seen these guys, and your odds, if you're going to fight them, aren't that good, and you'll probably die. And Nicolas Cage is like, don't be negative.
Yes. Oh, my God. Come on, man.
Holy fuck. His second best line in the entire movie is don't be negative.
Is the first one, you ripped my shirt?
Fuck yes, it is. Absolutely,
That's my
yes,
favorite
it is.
shirt.
That line's so good, he said it twice.
Oh, yeah. So then we get to the badass blacksmithing
Also, I
scene.
mean, you're a vicious snowflake. Where did that come from?
That's a good
Where did
one,
that come
too.
from at all?
Oh, shit. He does not like being called a snowflake.
No.
The blacksmithing scene, love it.
Yeah.
There's,
Fantastic.
I don't
The
know if
axe
you got a
that he
complaint, I'm going to
builds,
hit you.
You go right ahead and find that axe in any other movie.
Oh.
That is a brand new weapon to the lore right there.
Oh, yeah.
And also, like, for some reason, chrome is just menacing.
Well, it's the brand new shininess of it.
Yeah.
For some reason, I have like a Mandela effect where there's a scene where you see him melting down stuff, but I guess that doesn't happen because I thought he melted down something special.
I don't know if it was something special. You do have a scene of him melting the whatever silver for this. Maybe it was like a ring or necklace of hers or some shit. It's a lot of silver though. So
yeah,
like,
I could be just misremembering it, but yeah, he like has like a pit of sand. This is all very like rinky dink. He's made it himself.
well, you can't be a fucking professional arborist, all right, and then also a blacksmith, and then also a trained killer. There's not enough time in the day.
There isn't.
All right?
There
you
isn't.
got to
Pick
compromise somewhere.
Pick two.
So, yeah, Sandforge.
Yeah, like it's very rinky dink. He made it himself. It looks good. And then obviously he's just like pushed down into the sand the shape of this axe.
Yeah.
And it's his wildest dream.
It sure is.
It's his wildest fucking dream. He was like, I can do whatever I want. Oh, well, why don't I make the fucking Venom axe? The axe that is made up of evil.
Why don't I make a weapon from Bleach the anime?
Why don't I make something that it looks like the Klingons use?
To shave.
Christ. So he just makes this badass axe. It's just a great.
Good.
Love the fucking scene. So shiny. It's all good.
Yeah, so shiny, so chrome. Mad Max. Speaking of, motherfucker takes that crossbow right into the woods and just starts picking them off. It starts with one, like Linkin Park.
It starts with
one thing. I'll roll my truck when I hit you with my fucking truck.
Doesn't really matter how hard you try. Keep that in mind.
Yeah.
I designed this rhyme to remind myself that. So things aren't the way that. All right.
You wouldn't even recognize me anymore because I got blood all over my face, and I also put a crossbow bolt right through your throat, asshole. How's that? How's that for you? I like that he blows his whole wad on the first one.
Yeah.
Also, why is hitting a man in a rubber suit like hitting a fucking rock?
I was
Like
wondering,
hitting a boulder with your truck.
was this man cemented into the earth? Was he a pillar that stops you from driving into a building?
Yeah, he got frozen into carbonite 10 seconds before I came down the road.
Yeah. So yeah, Nick snipes this guy off his motorcycle, and then just gets in his cart and runs him down.
Yeah.
So good.
Well, double tap.
The guy
he does the same thing that I did with my car when I rolled it, which is roll it.
which is roll it, yeah, which is be inside of it while it rolls.
That's 100% correct. The only difference is I didn't fall asleep right after.
And you also went back for your CDs.
Well, dude, Slayer.
Yeah.
Slayer was right. Slayer and Coltrane. Explain that combination. I just went into a Sunrise and bought 6 things. The guy looked at me funny. And I was like, yeah, I'm just trying to explore. Because I got fucking a clarinet jazz guy from 1960 and then fucking Cannibal Corpse, literally.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, that's variety.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens when you don't have an aux cable in your car and just a CD player.
You should have just looked him in the eyes and been like, it's the spice of life.
With that intensity, too, yeah. I'm broadening my fucking horizons.
What do you want from me?
Sir?
I have an eclectic taste. So we get another nude Mandy animation.
Yeah.
And
Good.
then Nick wakes up chained again to a radiator in a basement.
Sometimes I love being a plumber.
Yeah?
Because I get to watch a scene like this and go, that radiator doesn't work. You know how I know?
Well, you tell me how you know, then I'll tell you how I know.
Okay. So yeah, he wakes up in a basement next to a catch basin that I can only assume is for killing cows because it's fucking massive.
You would think.
And he's chained to the inlet pipe of a floor rad, and he's got I don't fuck what would you even call what would you call this costume?
The one he's wearing?
The one that the gentleman who has him is wearing.
Sex costume.
Yeah.
Sex.
All right. We got Gimp Suit Babyface looming over him.
Yeah, there you go.
Saying you got a death wish. Now, the reason I know this rad is not working is that after Nicolas Cage gets sliced and pissed off because you just cut my favorite shirt, asshole. And it was rude too, because it was just like it was a surface wound.
Yeah, it was.
I'm just trying to make you upset, and it works. And then punched twice, and then calls him a vicious snowflake, which I only assume is because he's spiky, but black instead of white, which, okay, racist.
Yeah.
And then that pipe, because it's flimsily threaded in the first place, comes right off. The fact that they're not both sprayed until they have third-degree burns from boiling water because of an active heating line that just broke means I know that rad's not working.
Okay.
That rad is for decoration.
I'll tell you how I know it's not working.
Is it because it's in the fucking basement of a dingy fucking building and it's got more rust than it does metal at this point?
That has a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
It's also the fact that it's dangling over that fucking pit.
Yeah.
What are you heating on the other side of that pit?
The pit juice.
Like that radiator was an afterthought.
Yeah.
And you never installed it properly.
We'll just throw a rad in over here. Oh, on the other side of the pit? That'll be fun to service.
Hey, we're going to get chilly when we slice the throats of cows
Yeah.
in this basement of an elderly couple's home.
While they're dangling from a ceiling hook. Why do you have this?
Why do you have this? Why?
Jerry?
What's the deal with fucking killing things? When you kill them, they
deal
bleed.
With basement pits. It's
Yeah.
the basement. Isn't that already the bottom?
What are you gonna have?
Basement
More
pits.
basement? Sub-basements? Is this what you call a sub-basement? And, well, where is all the cow blood going? What's the deal with the smell of death?
What's the deal with the smell of death, dude?
But yeah, honestly, the fuck's going on in this basement? Because he's like laid out on like a grate that's just over top.
So
of a pit.
yeah, and I've seen these before in practice, but it's
people's homes.
No,
Okay,
that's my point.
Because it's like a butcher shop
or like a 14-story commercial building,
an abattoir.
Because those are that's the access hatch for the storm piping. Like that's you got to get in there to get at the backwater valves.
It's
like
the fucking elevator shaft.
Yes, that's right. And elevator shafts do come with drains at the bottom. And you would hope so, because if that thing ever falls and it's slowly filling with water,
I
love
it.
I lay down and I drown myself in 3 inches of water. I don't care.
How about this? We just don't put water in the elevator shaft.
Yeah, that's a fair one too. You shouldn't do that.
If you've got water in your elevator shaft, we close that one down for the day.
Until it dries.
Yeah, we throw a couple silicate packets down there.
So Nicolas Cage knocks this guy into the pit after piping him in the head a couple times. This comes back to bite him because he didn't check to make sure he was dead at the bottom of the pit. But that's fine.
Well, how do you get out of a pit, you know? How do you get out of an abattoir pit?
I guess, yeah. Free run. Parkour.
Parkour? I mean, why didn't they do that in It then? Come on. Get out of that well.
Who are you? Yeah. And the ring. She should have just parkoured up the side of the wall. So he grabs a box cutter and goes upstairs where there's another guy. Now, I'm going to read what I wrote here about this guy.
Oh, dear God, the guy.
This is a very rude scene.
Well,
right?
but so before he finds the guy, though, he does find the elderly couple.
Oh, yeah. Dead, and one of them's bent over the side of the bed like that's where he was left.
With a bloody ass.
Yeah.
Let's not gloss over the blood that is, let's say, centralized to his ass. It's just his ass that's bloody. It's the only part of his body with blood.
That is very true.
And then in the bed is his dead fucking wife.
Yeah, I mean,
tucked in.
You know, which got it first? You know, did he walk in and they were like, well?
I think they just were like,
three's a crowd.
We just want your wife to see this while she's sleeping, you know?
While she's sleeping, in quotes. Sneaking up on a dude while he's nose deep in Powder Mountain watching doggy style porn is diabolical. Because that is the safest anybody has ever felt in their life. If you think that you're safe enough to face down Scarface, fucking just as much nose candy as you can fit into 4 hands, all right, and just blasting anal on the television, you feel like you could do that just in the living room? You think, first of all, your schedule's clear for the day.
Nobody's walking in.
No, nothing bad could possibly be happen to you in the future if this is what you're doing.
Oh yeah. This is your evening. You're locked in.
Fuck. So Nicolas Cage, I mean, he makes the mistake of flashing his reflection in the mirror, or not in the mirror, but in
TV
the television.
glass,
Yeah.
Because it's an old TV.
But it doesn't really matter because all he gets is thrown through a table, and then everything's fine after that because your throat gets opened.
Well, yeah, he gets thrown into the cocaine.
The cocaine.
And, I mean...
That lights a fire, because of course it does.
So,
he has that moment where he tries to get up, and he sort of stumbles, probably because he's high as fuck.
Oh!
Hey.
Did you not realize?
Probably not.
See, what I thought you were going to get into about this gentleman...
Yeah.
Is that he's got a huge fucking spike coming out of his groin.
Oh, that's what that was.
Fucking hooked spike.
And it's got blood all over it. And then you think about the old man in the other room there.
And so what he does is Nick like kicks his foot and he trips and his dick stabs into the floor. And
that's what, okay.
And he's like over top of him so he can't get up.
So I saw all that, right?
Yeah.
I didn't realize from whence the spike emanated. I thought it was just a knife in his hand that he dropped.
No, they show him after he has his first... face full of cocaine.
Yeah.
He leans back.
First of many. Probably not first.
It's on like a
long
hinge.
Day.
It like rises up.
Perfect.
Like a fucking rod.
Yeah. That's when you know you've had enough coke for the next 15 minutes.
You've got the fucking... The dill don't. Strapped on.
The dill please don't.
Oh yeah, fucking I got the strap on from hell on. I got my cocaine. I got my vigorous doggy style pornography.
Yeah.
No end in sight to that. They're just pounding away on the TV.
It doesn't look like, first of all, it doesn't look that enthusiastic. But on top of that, it doesn't look like it's going to end anytime soon.
It looks like this is their job and the clock has started.
Yeah, they're just doing it. They've punched in.
They've punched in and they've they donkey punched out.
Oh!
So, his dick spike gets stuck in the floor and
his dyke?
No, that's sort of like a drain. That it's kind of like a not like a dam, but it like allows water through. That's what that's what you're thinking of,
right?
I'm thinking.
Well, this thing is going to let a lot of things through that couldn't get through before.
Absolutely. So anyway, he gets it stuck in the floor.
He does, yeah.
And it's basically
design flaw.
Basically in the missionary position over top of Nicolas Cage, who has no choice but to slit his throat.
Yeah.
And get showered because there's nowhere to go.
That's true. It's a crimson shower.
It's a mouth of blood.
Now, not the guys I'd want to be cutting my hand in about forming a pact with.
Yeah, certainly.
He got a lot of that blood and a lot of holes in his face.
Now, I don't want to say all bikers are dirty.
These ones though.
And like earlier when I said something about the Hells Angels, I said that with I meant that in the nicest way. Yeah. Please don't find me.
I meant that in the don't knock on my doorway.
You guys are great. These guys are crazy.
Yeah. It's a very delicate leather ratio.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Some cool, most.
Yeah, some cool, most still cool, but like behind closed doors don't involve me.
Sure.
That shouldn't be flying down the road at 80 miles per hour on a.
Right.
On a crotch rocket.
Right.
Because, ew.
You're in trouble.
Yeah, I'm snapping shut.
I'm puckering.
All leather? Yeah, no. Unzip your mouthpiece. We're going to have some words.
We're going to have what? talking, sir.
So anyway, yeah, bikers are dirty. So he's got hepatitis 5. Sure.
Minimum
Hepatitis.
And I mean, at that point, yeah, I do have nothing to lose, so we might as well just keep going.
Yeah. So he gets up, takes a moment to check out the pornography on the television before it explodes.
Yeah, because somebody missed with a shotgun from 5 feet across the room, which is just impressive.
Because like that, or he was like, that I hate doggy style pornography.
Specifically.
I'm sick
of him watching this in the living room while I'm trying to cook.
Not on the family television. How many times do I have to tell him?
Holy fuck.
That's abattoir activity.
Abattoir activities? That's for the Nook.
You shoot your load in the hole.
In the storage room. So he gets his neck broken for that. But right in between, you read my shirt? You read my shirt?
How he recognized that guy from any other guy?
Yeah, especially in the dark.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So I think he's like at this point just mad about his shirt.
Yeah.
The way he snaps this guy's neck with so much finesse, like he doesn't even need to look.
I imagine this is how Bruce Lee would snap a neck.
It's exactly how Bruce Lee would snap a neck.
And that's how he would leave his hands after doing that.
Oh
too.
yeah. That's like the who else wants some.
Yeah. Kumite. I'm glad they left the axe out for him. They just hung it up nicely over.
Well, it's a badass axe.
Over the, it's not a mantle, but over the fucking.
It's like the walkway to the.
Yeah, there's a special name for it, but I don't remember what it is. Archway, I guess I'll just call it.
Yeah, it was a big deal in I feel like the 80s always had this like piece of like wall that went over top to let you know that you were walking into a different room.
So you could tell by the molding the room is different.
Yeah.
And where usually thered be a deer's head, no, just my chrome axe. So good.
Thank God.
Yeah. What's this goo? I'm a little peckish.
Oh yeah, let me first of all, after rummaging through all of the cupboards.
Well, you could tell I wouldn't even need to. It's very easy to tell that there's no food in the house because of all the food on the counter.
Yeah. They've been going out to eat. They're not keeping it here.
Exclusively, yeah.
But this, I don't even know how to describe it, just gray
goo.
Gray substance in a jar.
I find it interesting that they made it that color because gray goo is also what it's called when, you ever seen Her?
Mm-hmm.
So when all the sentient AI essentially assimilates into itself and leaves the planet, the Borg that exists in outer space that is essentially just nanoscopic beings is called gray goo as well.
Ah, yes. Okay. All right. Yep.
That's just like every artificial intelligence together in a cloud of hell. Anyway, he tastes some, and he has quite literally a face melting trip.
Oh yeah, immediately.
Yeah.
I don't even think he gets it to his tongue.
Just barely tickles it.
He finds his crossbow, which they were keeping fresh in the refrigerator.
Yeah, that's a good spot for it. You want the crossbow to be cold.
Yeah. You want to keep that Reaper icy.
Yeah. Grim.
Mm-hmm.
Pops out the window, high as a fucking kite.
Yeah, you can tell
from the size of his fucking pupils.
Yeah.
That's the highest anyone's ever been.
His eyes are all pupil. you can tell he's high by the way he doesn't go out the front door, but the second story window and then jumps off the roof.
The closest exit, really.
Yep.
Right over to a dude who didn't hear any of this commotion whatsoever because he's busy watching a car burn.
I love it.
Which is fine. And I don't know what he took, but he is also very capable of taking an entire bolt to the throat and just pulling it out the front and then standing there still.
Hey, this got to make sure this fire doesn't get out of control. Only I can prevent forest fires.
Yeah.
That doesn't even flinch.
So that's a fight.
He sneaks up on him and they have a knife versus axe fight.
Yeah, they do, and it's fantastic.
It's so good.
He gets kicked into the car also, at which point he starts burning as well. And then I wrote, lighting a cigarette on the decapitated head of the guy you just killed with fire while he taunted you about your dead wife is the biggest power move in film history.
So good.
Does she still burn? Because so do you, and now your head's over there.
Oh my God.
By the way, I need a smoke.
Yeah, while he's on fire, he's like, yeah, she burned so good. It was...
Your turn.
Yeah.
Dickhead. Also, that cigarette, an LSD and cocaine cigarette is probably the best cigarette to have. That's the best cigarette you've ever had.
Is that what I thought it was just as like he just found a cigarette, which by the way, leave it there.
I mean,
yeah,
it is. I'm
Just leave
pretty
it
sure
there.
it is just a cigarette. I mean, given what's coursing through his system,
Oh yeah,
that cigarette hits different.
a little nicotine to put the edge directly on.
Yes, we
Except-
put the edge on.
Just sharpening the edge is all we're doing.
we liven that edge.
So he gets this dude like while he's taunting him has I don't know the gall to be in the prime position to get your head chopped off.
Oh yeah.
Hands and knees looking forward.
Yep.
And just taunting about dead wife.
And I have an axe. What do
Yeah.
you think's gonna happen?
Yeah, what did you expect?
Good lord.
See, I slices his head off, lights a smoke on the flaming head.
So good.
I'd like to think that Nick Cage was like, what if I did this?
Yes.
What if I did this?
I also, and on that topic, thank you for saying that because you reminded me. Nicolas Cage's transformation through grief in the bathroom is one full take.
So good.
Now, I wonder if that fucking leaf blower is going to be audible. I sure do wonder that.
Why don't you close that window up?
Oh, the timing.
Ah,
Anyway.
yard work.
One of the best long takes in film history. I don't care what
Definitely.
anybody says because, yeah, you get to just watch all that.
And I bet you it only took the one take.
And I bet you he didn't even know they were rolling.
Like I said, literally him getting into character.
Yeah.
And scene. Oh, but I was about to.
I wasn't done.
I-
I left that little bit of vodka for the scene.
I needed it.
I like that he rolls up on a stolen bike into the exact mark to illuminate just his eyes. So when he has the LSD trip, he has a vision of where the LSD came from, which is a radio tower. And that's cool. So he goes right there.
Yeah. Why? It's like in Close Encounters when the dude just keeps having visions of the what do you call those? The big. It's not a mountain because it's flat on top.
The monolith? What do you...
It sort of is, but it's a natural one. What are they called?
But
They've got a name and I can't remember it right now.
plateau? I mean, that would be the
Sorta,
top of it.
Yeah. They've got a name anyway, and he has like these visions, so he starts making them out of potatoes.
Yeah, right.
It's like that,
It is. Except the potatoes are skulls.
and he just knows exactly where to get LSD now.
Yeah. Well, that's the nice thing about, the chemist is he adds his signature and it's
Fucking-
GPS coordinates in your head,
This
probably.
fucking chemist.
It's a map. He's LSD'd a map. This chemist owns a tiger that he's using as a guinea pig for his drugs that he's making.
Is that? I thought he was just using the tiger as like a way to vibe test.
Uh,
When the tiger's chill, I know it's good.
How would the tiger be chill if not by being given LSD to make sure it's good?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if he does
If
give
it
it
can chill out a
LSD.
fucking tiger, then we're in the clear.
If the tiger doesn't roar like it does in the beginning of all these movies, we're in the clear.
So the chemist is also clearly high because you could tell
No
because
way.
of the fucking pupils again.
No,
This guy's eyes are like the eyes from the vampires in 30 Days of Night.
You mean the chemist whose bare hand touching liquid acid is high?
Oh, he sure is.
He's touching the liquid with his bare hands,
and you don't need, it's not like Dorito dust and you got to lick it off. You have a bowl of it right there.
yeah.
Okay? Wipe your hands. During this conversation, it's not really a conversation, but it's a conversation that occurs in their heads mostly. Also, let's not, I don't know his name, but of course this creepy fucking guy is in this movie.
I don't know. Is he in something other things?
Oh, he's in so many things.
I was more concerned with the fact that he's butt ass fucking naked.
He's in like Sons of Anarchy. Doesn't he have an apron on? There's
Okay,
at least that.
So yeah, his butt's still out though.
Yes, that's true. Well, you want to make sure that the splashes get on you. Fucking, he's in like Sons of Anarchy. He's in the Rob Zombie Halloween. And anytime that he's in a movie, he's a disgusting fucking nightmare of a person. You're like a serial killer, or you're like a baby rapist. It's always something like that.
And now he's a drug dealer.
Yeah.
He's done every bad thing.
So this conversation that happens between these two is this chemist having LSD revelations like they're not very obvious things. And I've written them down here.
Okay.
All of the revelations that he has, like a shitty medium that's tapped into Nicolas Cage's logical brain. Number one, he goes, oh, yeah, you're right, and lets the tiger out. So number 1 is, of course you shouldn't feed a tiger drugs and keep it in an 8x8 cage. Of course you shouldn't. Let the tiger out. Number 2, of course the cult is who wronged Nicolas Cage. Look at him.
Yeah.
For fuck's sake. Also, he's the most wronged of any person who's ever been wronged in the history of wrongdoing. This is the wrongest thing. And number 3, of course he exudes darkness. He smells like sweat, blood, and ass from killing multiple mini-bosses.
He is red.
Yep.
His skin is stained with blood.
Yeah. And fuck, so the chemist's like, you have a dark aura. Yeah, it must be all the people I killed just now.
Yeah, maybe it's the literal murder
I've been committing all day.
Maybe it was the blood I bathed in before I came here.
All day. And then he goes, oh, the children. And that's number 4. Yeah, the only Charles Manson cult that you supply LSD for that has a group of bikers that you hated so bad that you poisoned them? Yeah, them.
Yeah.
None of this is a mystery.
And so, yeah, he lets the tiger out, and then the scene ends. I'm assuming he's a dead man.
Yeah, no, he would be.
See, I thought...
It just doesn't matter.
See, so what I got from that was, like, yeah, he's like,
also, the
yeah.
tiger is the same name as my dead cat. That was fun. Thanks, guys.
I wasn't going to mention it. So what I got was, like, he's having this conversation in his head, right? He's like, oh, man, they wronged you. Why do they always gotta be like that?
Oh,
it's probably because I gave them this fucking LSD.
Yeah.
But then he's like, yeah, you're right. I should let the tiger out because you're gonna fucking kill me.
Yeah.
And we just can't have the tiger in the cage because then it's gonna die.
Yeah. I thought at first that he was letting the tiger out and Nicolas Cage was gonna have to fight a tiger.
Yeah. I had that idea the first time I watched it too.
I'm almost happy it didn't happen.
Yeah, that would have been stupid.
I do prefer the tiger just fucking off. Like, I don't want to be. Bye.
Like you said, the tiger's chill, so he knows everything's all good.
Yeah. Until you're dead in a pool of your own LSD.
Fucking licking his fingers. So yeah, the guy. What does he say? He says something about cosmic darkness, and then they look down, and there's just like tube worms by their feet. Like weird worms.
But then he goes, "Do you see that?"
Yeah.
Which means it's a hallucination.
Yeah.
But then also it's a collective one. So they're on a wavelength, which is why you can like read his thoughts.
Somehow, yeah. So he tells him to go north. And north he goes.
Yeah. Well, this place isn't exactly easy to miss. All you gotta do is go to the edge and look down.
Yeah.
Go to the edge of north and just, oh, there it is.
Yeah, listen for sounds and follow them.
So he takes the fucking ATV up north and he gets it stuck, so he decides to take a nap. And nice salamander when he wakes up. I don't know what the significance of that is. I'm sure there is some. Maybe it's his wife, like, watching over him or some shit. I don't know. But let me tell you, this ravine yurt, you haven't chosen the greatest real estate. The second there's a heavy rainstorm, you're fucking dead. You've drowned.
Yep. You think your A-frame building's gonna save you? No.
No, not in the valley. Not in the flood valley.
Yeah. Literally in the valley.
Fuck.
At the start of the flood. This is where the flood will begin.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And Nicolas Cage is the one who begins it. And it's blood.
It's blood.
And it's blood raining down.
It rains blood.
I'm a huge fan of the fact that he goes, so they're on like some kind of fucking away mission to do God knows what. The majority of the cult. And so Nicolas Cage follows that van, I assume, and goes to, why are there like 7 junkyards in these woods?
America's not doing so good.
You got
That's the plain and simple answer. They're not doing as good as Donald Trump might have you believe.
It's like you go 50 feet in any direction in these woods and there's 8 cars buried under rubble.
Boy, I love the natural splendor of this forest and also the metal refinery sticking up from behind it. Yes.
Ah, yes. The most beautiful part of the woods is always the quarry.
It's always the cars we bury.
Fuck.
And light on fire because of LSD.
So Nicolas Cage finds his weapon of choice, which is a chainsaw, because he's a fucking arborist. And that's an important piece of information because it's like him finding his, if this movie was about him singing, he would have just found his voice. You know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It was an axe and now it's a chainsaw. And then the gentleman he comes up on produces Well, a much larger penis.
The
A much larger penis.
way I describe this chainsaw, comically large.
It just keeps going.
He pulls it out from behind a tree stump,
Yeah.
and it's like a magician's magic trick.
It's like
It's like
it's like the hook that you get when you get pulled off stage. It's just longer than ever fathomable by man.
it's a clown's handkerchief.
Yeah, out of his mouth.
Fuck. Before that happens, though, it's the slack-jawed guy, and he's just also standing there looking at a fire.
Yeah, well, because all he can do is stand and look at one time. That's all he's capable of mentally.
Yeah, one thing at a time. It's
Yeah.
either chewing or it's walking.
Yeah.
Never the same thing.
And in this scene, it's neither, and he's still struggling.
Well, he does one good thing. Because he's like listening to. First of all, the song is, oh God. All right, look, I'm not a racist man.
Okay.
I don't know the name of the song,
Yeah.
but the second I say the Spanish lyrics, to which I do not know, but I can tell you what they sound like,
Okay.
you're gonna know the song.
Yep.
And it's ay 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 ay. Na, da, na, 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 na. It's that fucking song, and he's just like, yeah, I gotta wipe this station wagon so good.
You love jalapenos, you love them, you do. You love jalapenos, I'll give my stick to you.
That cannot be the lyrics.
No, that's Jeff Dunham's racist lyrics.
Oh!
That's Jeff Dunham.
Jeff Dunham?
Jeff racist ass Dunham.
The puppet guy.
I don't know how you could have slipped so much racism under the public radar like that, because he doesn't even try to slip it.
Nah,
Jose the jalapeno on a stick?
he's got a sombrero on, for God's sake.
Sure does, and he sings that song, and those are the lyrics he sings. So annoy that.
Jeffrey Dunham, you've got some splaining to do.
How about fucking Ahmed the terrorist, and he's a skeleton because he was a successful terrorist?
There's literally nothing to say about that other than racist.
And then Walter, who's just an old racist man.
I'm
And
beginning to
then-
think that maybe Jeff Dunham might be a racist.
And then, I can never remember his name, but the other puppet was supposed to be a black person.
It's not the purple and green.
Which one has the biggest lips, Matt?
It's not.
It's the one with the inexplicably big lips.
I didn't watch that much Jeff Dunham.
Yes, it's the purple one.
It's
He's even got the African spear chucker haircut, which is just a tuft up top. The whole thing.
Isn't it a monkey? Isn't
Oh my.
Am I thinking of the right puppet guy here?
You might be.
I
No, you are, and oh my.
I try not to give ventriloquists that much attention, to be honest. They don't deserve it.
Well, to answer your question, yes, probably. Just not the one you're thinking of.
Well, anyway, so this fucking this dim-witted
chainsaw fight is just sick, though. Okay, what does this fucking dull bulb do?
So he's, like I said, he's only good at one, maybe two things, but he can't do them at the same time. And it is proven in this scene where he's polishing his station wagon.
Yeah.
And then he has to stop to catch Nicolas Cage's axe with his face.
Yeah, he does.
Long range across from wherever
that is
he
what
throws.
happens. Yeah.
All you see is just this fucking shimmering axe.
Bum, 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 bum. Like, the trajectory of this axe, he would be... This guy wins at the green room every time.
It was an overhand throw.
Yeah.
And
bullseye.
And it basically, anytime you take Nicolas Cage to an axe throwing room,
yeah,
you might as well not. Because
you might as well just
dead accuracy from across the field.
Fuck yeah.
The silhouette on this is so good because all you see is just this dude from his profile, his shadowed profile,
his still breathing mouth.
And well, it's good that his mouth is to the side because he's able to breathe through his mouth. Anyway, fucking blood everywhere. Guy falls and he's dead.
Yeah.
Really loved that.
Yeah.
Sucks that he had to kill the retarded guy. Feel like that was the retarded guy didn't do anything, did he?
Okay, well, here's another one for good measure right afterward, because this guy This guy's maybe got like one more filament up top in the bulb. All right.
Yeah.
The only difference is his chainsaw's bigger. So that's a fun fight. I do like that he just pulls him onto the fucking running chainsaw. I also like the dick allegory in this because it's like Nick's having a hard time getting it up when he shows up in the scene. This guy's been full mast all night.
Yeah. Oh my God. Nick, I don't know how many pulls it takes for him to actually start his saw, but the other guy's saw starts up, zero problem.
Yeah, he's been ready.
What is your problem, Nick? Do you need pills?
And then we have a sword fight.
Great death scene. They battle with, I don't know how you describe a chainsaw fight.
Just those two words put together, honestly.
They end up knocking the chainsaw out of each other's hands, and Nick is just like, well, fuck this.
Come here, I'm Scorpion.
This is the 80s, and safety hasn't been invented yet, so these chainsaws still run when we let go of them.
Yeah.
He grabs the chain that I can only imagine you tie around a tree when you want to pull it out of the earth.
Fuck yeah.
And he throws it, wraps it around this guy's neck, and just yanks him onto the running saw.
It's great.
So good.
It's great. It's like, again, it's like Evil Dead.
There's another bit, because, all right, so when he finds his saw and his crossbow, he also grabs a handful of spikes.
Yeah.
So when he sees that van drive away,
he grabs a handful of spikes out of the sink.
He sure does.
Why were they in there?
Utensils. They were cleaning them.
Chopsticks.
And so when he sees that van drive away from the A-frame church, he pops their tire.
Yeah.
And when the guy gets out to investigate it,
right,
he gets a taste of steel.
He does.
Because this guy also is like, yeah, your fucking wife burned. But Nicolas Cage kind of stops him mid-sentence by
force?
Yeah, by putting the spike end of his axe into his mouth and then out of the other side.
Which is good because he was right about to quote Neil Young.
Was he?
So if you're talking about, if I'm trying to talk to you about the grief and death of my wife, all right, and you go, it's better to burn out than to fade away.
Oh,
I'll put a spike in your mouth too.
Yeah, punctuate that sentence right at the back. and then, so I think you're onto something with like, with Lucy being his daughter, because she was in the van too.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, you stay here. It's either that or they're like husband and wife.
That's worse.
It is worse.
Is it worse?
He seems a great deal older than her anyway.
I think it's worse.
Yeah. So yeah, I think you're onto something there. And he just lets her go because she only facilitated the murder of his Mandy.
I mean, she kind of did nothing at all except for get raped under duress.
Doing nothing is still doing something.
That's true.
You know?
Yeah, there is no such thing as an innocent bystander.
She didn't say, hey, stop burning this lady.
Violated Good Samaritan laws.
There you go.
That's exactly, yep. And your punishment is jail in hell, as it turns out.
Straight to jail.
So, of course, the church has a fucking nuclear bunker in the basement.
Of course it does.
Because, of course, we're a cult, and we're waiting for the end of days, so we have to have the basement bunker to sleep in when it gets stormy out.
We do a lot more than sleep in that basement bunker.
Oh, yeah. As evidenced by the enthusiasm with which this crying old lady offers to fuck him. Let me tell you, I don't know why everybody's last resort in this movie is like, well, I'm really good in bed. But you get this woman being like, I'm the most attentive and sensual lover. Basically goes, get in me, and you're gonna fucking learn how good it is.
Jeremiah says, I'm the best.
Here's the thing, though. No, he doesn't, because he didn't. As a matter of fact, he said, you're not the best.
First of all,
I've had better.
He definitely says you're not the best.
Yeah.
Second of all, Jeremiah himself has said he's had the pleasure of fucking a lot of girls.
Yeah. Better than this.
How are you the best?
Yeah.
He did. He called Lucy in. He didn't ask for you.
She's probably the best because she goes straight for anal. She's like, don't even bother with the front.
Nobody else will do this for you, right? Right?
You know, I got the egg in.
I had a big breakfast, but I made room. Come on, Jeremiah. Put it in my ass. Jeremiah says, I'm just such a fucking attentive lover that
Yeah.
I could make you blast so good.
I'm gonna make you blast so hard you're gonna forget your wife's dead.
And then I wrote, fade to black with a big old question mark because
Ooh, it goes one of two ways.
they don't say that it doesn't happen. We'll say that.
There's no way that it happens.
There's no way that happens, but they also say that they explicitly don't say they didn't fuck.
The irony in the fact that there's a couple things here. No, all she gets to do is give head.
She's so fucking good at it.
She's really good at giving head right across the floor
She's
like that.
very willing.
To supply head to Jeremiah's feet when Nicolas Cage throws it at him.
Like he's tossing a soccer ball back into play.
Yeah.
Jeremiah just and kicks it. Once he realizes what the fuck it is.
So funny that he kicks it. Fuck. Disrespect.
Oh man, the best lover I've ever fucking had. Oh, her head. Ugh! Get this the fuck out of here. Oh, gross. Where I put my dick sometimes.
Jeremiah skips the first 3 stages of grief and goes straight to bargaining. This whole speech where he's trying to defend himself is like, first of all, you can't even hurt me because I am everything. You know, when that God came down and he spoke to me, he told me the same thing he told Mufasa, which is that everything the light touches is our kingdom.
That's essentially what he says.
And when that doesn't work, well, I could give you some sick dome. I could give you some fucking rad fucking toppy in here.
He waits for all of 2 seconds to realize Nick Cage isn't gonna go for. Oh yeah, okay, so I'll suck your dick then.
Yeah,
you can't kill me. I'm God. All right, I'll suck your dick. All right, if it's just gonna get us out of here, I'll suck your dick.
Fine, maybe I.
And then it goes. Ugh, that pygmy. What?
Good luck finding that meme, guys. That's a deep cut.
Maybe I zuck.
Yeah, dick.
Jesus Christ. So yeah, it's like, please don't hurt me. I'll suck your dick. I'm God. You should be bowing to me.
Yeah. Why am I on my knees right now? What the fuck just happened?
Wait a minute. I don't suck dick. You suck dick. Get over here and suck dick.
Dude, man, I feel Nicolas Cage just looks at him and goes, I feel a headache coming on for you. And then crushes his head like a watermelon between a hot chick's thighs.
Oh my God. I am your God now. And just eyeballs shooting out of the skull.
Yeah, God that, fuckface.
Jesus. I don't know what kind of strength it would actually take to do that, but lots.
Again, like I just think about like leg day chicks and their ability to break a watermelon and like explode a watermelon.
Yeah.
And I imagine if it's possible like that, then it might be a little more possible than we think.
You're probably onto something. Like,
have you ever seen the Penn and Teller episode where they're covering the JFK assassination? And they're trying to explain why when he was shot, his head moved toward the bullet trajectory instead of away from it. And what they use in similarity is a honeydew.
Oh my.
Which calls into question, how like a human skull is a honeydew melon?
I mean, if it's the Mythbusters, it's gotta be pretty close then.
I think the Mythbusters also did it.
I said
Penn and Teller's bullshit, but I think the Mythbusters also did it.
Oh fuck! I just thought we were busting myths.
Well, we could do both.
We can, and we talk about our assholes not being egg McMuffins.
Well, mine certainly isn't, but I don't know why you'd ever say that.
Because he's talking about how your asshole isn't like when you open up an English muffin and it's just divots.
Yeah.
It's
craters.
They're talking about how colonoscopies are bullshit because your asshole isn't like that on the inside, just collecting shit.
Oh.
It's a very smooth surface.
Right.
That isn't getting gunked up with shit.
Yeah. No, that's true. Colonoscopies are for the intestinal tract where it does collect because it's ribbed for her pleasure. I don't know whose pleasure, but I certainly hope I never meet that woman. All right?
I'm trying to figure out how that one works, and I don't know if it does.
It looks like the inside of a Alaskan bullworm's mouth.
With all the pleasure spikes.
Yeah.
For tickling.
The tickle spikes. Oh, my. So I do like that Nicolas Cage does to them the same thing that was done to his wife, and that he just sets everything on fire and fucks right off. And
he does the same thing he did to the tree at the beginning. He doesn't turn around. He just walks away.
Yeah. He also, I believe, says, I'm your God, which, okay, that, when you strung him up like Jesus, and left him for dead. That was resurrection and transformation, and now he just is one.
There you go.
Because only gods can kill gods. So if Jeremiah is one, and then he follows the one of the better tenets of the Christian faith, which is treat others the way you want to be treated. All right, well, if that's the case, I'm torch you like you did my wife. How's that?
I'm gonna fucking give you some sick skull,
You like God? You like an eye for an eye? Well, now yours are on the floor.
and I'm gonna turn the other cheek.
Yep, and walk the fuck away. Yeah. And then he hops in his car, and I don't know, you could make the argument that he's dead, because at the end, while he's driving and he has the hallucination of his wife, like, he goes into a memory from when they met,
Funniest.
and then
Oh, it's so good. Keep going. Keep going.
goes into him in the car in the same outfit, now clean, and she's in the passenger seat. And then it cuts back to reality for a second where he's just maniacally smiling at an empty passenger seat,
Covered in blood.
and still driving.
And it goes like, so when it shows her, it's like a nice, soft, like green, like a dark light. Cut to him, the hardest, reddest murder light you've ever seen.
Yeah. Redder than the blood on his face.
And he is smiling as if he is literally in the movie Smile. Well, it is from ear to ear the happiest
dude.
you've ever seen him.
Nicolas Cage just won the lottery. That's his face.
It's Pedro Pascal looking at Nicolas Cage in the what is it, the great weight of unbearable talent, or the unbearable weight of great talent.
Yeah.
That is literally the scene he's doing. Pedro is doing his impression of him sitting in that car seat.
That's hilarious.
It's
dude.
so fucked.
That's so funny. Anyway, because he's driving through essentially another planet's surface, which I saw the probably fucking Jupiter's moon or Saturn's moon.
Yeah,
so it's one of those two. But
it pans out and there's it's a weird alien landscape with sideways mountains.
But the thing is, right, he did a bunch of coke and LSD and murder.
Oh, we forgot about after he kills both those guys, he snaps the neck. He just picks up a shard of glass with a baseball of cocaine on it.
Oh, yeah,
and just goes in the face.
Like the Teletubbies vacuum, he sucks that shit
Oh,
up.
yeah. And then he does LSD.
Yeah. So, like, he could be dead. He could also just be peaking.
I feel like peaking because he just murdered so many people.
That would get the adrenaline flowing.
Oh, yeah.
And I prefer that. Anyway, that's how the fucking movie ends. And let me tell you,
how the movie ends.
Mandy gets a 9 out of 10 from me.
A 9 out of 10.
Because there's the whole, like, being able to create a universe and then also bring it down to, like, a realistic version of that universe that could be identified with. Doing both simultaneously. Having immaculate visual representation of what you're trying to, like, the message you're trying to convey. And then, like, everything in the movie itself is pretty much on theme. Like, either it's a psychedelic trip or it's him confronting, like, the hell that is his real life.
That's fair, yeah.
All that shit put together into a movie like that. I'm good.
Well, see, you've put me in a position because we've already set the rule. There can't be a 10.
That's right.
There can't be a 10.
That's right.
So this is a 9.5 for me.
Woo!
Woo! It would have been like a 9.9.
Yeah. I don't want to get into decimals like that. It's too dangerous. The rating system becomes out of 100 very quickly.
Had it been like a scary movie.
Yeah.
Like it's sure, it's a horror movie.
It is.
But it's not scary. If I would have been like, ooh, scary, it would have jumped it up. But like, it was the perfect horror movie without actually being a horror movie.
Yeah.
So good. The color's great. Nicolas Cage, great.
Obviously, I feel like Nicolas Cage, for the most part, is pretty subdued, and then he slowly becomes great.
Not a dull murder in the entire movie.
No, creative.
Everybody gets fucked.
Find me another movie where somebody welds a fucking medieval axe together. Forges, either way, slides.
I can't think of one.
Me neither.
Maybe
a lot of custom weaponry, sure, but not an axe with a spear on the end of it.
No.
And it's also like it's got perfect handholds for just him. Fits like a glove.
Such a good fucking movie.
Great movie.
That's Mandy.
Mandy, everybody.
9 and 9.5.
And you know, we got to balance out. I do like the fact that this podcast isn't just bad or good movies.
Yeah.
And you know what? It could be skewed one way or the other, of course, and obviously. But we'll do both.
We'll do both.
We'll fucking do both.
Well, we'll also go right down the middle.
Yep.
Right down the middle lane of movies that are so-so.
Yep.
A lot of 6s and a lot of 5s.
Come see, come saw.
Yeah. I'm great movie. I literally had not a bad thing to say. I didn't like the animation.
There were some parts that could have been better, but that doesn't make them bad necessarily.
Yeah.
Like, the animation was brief, and it was a dream. So cool.
Brief and to the point.
I mean, honestly, Quentin Tarantino and Kill Bill did it too.
That was too much. It was too much in Kill Bill.
Yeah, a little much.
A
little long, we'll say.
Didn't need the implied, what is it? The implied rape.
Oh, the underage, the statutory rape, the literal statutory rape. Not to mention the other just rape, but then also that.
Yeah. I didn't need it to be animated.
Yeah.
I didn't need it in the film, but also I didn't need to see young Lucy Liu animated in such a manner.
Yeah. Fuck it.
Anyway.
Mandy. Better movie.
So, with that being said, we've got some themes. We've got some themes for next week's film.
Well, I am fully ready for these.
All right. Bondage.
Of course.
Drugs.
Of course.
Bikers.
Yep, we're still, yep.
And then, knock, knock, we're coming in.
Ooh. You know, let me tell you right now to your face that if Knock Knock We're Coming In is just the movie Knock Knock, it's not a horror movie and I ain't watching it.
I was unaware of a movie called Knock Knock.
It's Keanu Reeves and his wife goes out of town and these two chicks show up and it turns out they're like drug and date rapists that just ruin lives and then kill you.
Oh.
And listen, you're never going to watch the movie because it's fucking bad. The whole point is he cheats on his wife with these two chicks, and then they bury him up to his neck in the dirt in his own backyard, and they put the phone right up to his face, and they have the video of them all banging, and he has to use his nose to either post or cancel it, and he accidentally posts it, and then likes it or something, and then he screams fuck, and that's how the movie ends.
Fucking triple likes it, pins it to his page. I can't stop!
That's literally what it just gets worse and worse because he keeps misclicking, and then the credits roll.
Fuck. Wow.
Fuck, that movie sucks.
It sounds like it's not, well, it is not that movie.
Okay, good. I want bikers. I've decided.
You've decided bikers.
I have.
You went with bikers.
I did.
You went with bikers. Okay. Which is great. So good. Because we talked about this movie. We mentioned this movie already in the podcast.
Okay.
Green Room.
Fuck yes. I have wanted to watch this movie for the fucking podcast since we started the podcast.
I have never seen it.
Oh.
And I only know of it because you keep bringing it up.
Yep.
So I was like, finally.
Patrick Stewart.
Oh, good.
Yep.
Good.
He's a skinhead.
Yes. I didn't know he was in this movie, but I read what it was about.
Sure is in this movie.
All right, so for Bondage?
Yeah.
Hellraiser.
Okay, of course. Yeah.
Of course.
Hellraiser's going to come up when you look at this movie at all.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I assumed you had to have known. You had to have known.
I was trying to rack my brain because I thought Hellraiser would have been too obvious.
It was
right
too
there.
obvious.
Yeah.
Drugs, Beyond the Rainbow, which I think was what you were when you said Beyond.
Probably.
Same director.
Yeah. Okay.
It's all colors. It looked good. Knock Knock, We're Coming In. Strangers Pray at Night.
That, yeah. I immediately thought The Strangers, and then I was like, now we watched it. So I was thinking of other Knock Knock, We're Coming In. No, we already did The Shining.
The Purge, the first one is the only one where it's like, knock, knock, we're coming in.
We've also done that.
Yeah, well, there's... well, Jay, you'd see the thing about sequels is they just keep making them. And it's this... But with The Purge, the first one is the only one where they actually like knock on the front door and it's like people trying to get in. The rest of it is like people trying to get across town while there's gangs.
I know. I fucking know. And most of them suck.
I mean, they don't suck, but they're not like...
I don't give a shit about you. Okay, we've created a little Hunger Games arena.
Yeah, but like, they don't...
And then the politics are just, okay, when it's the Statue of Liberty with the fucking X'd out eyes, like a fucking MySpace profile picture.
That's the one we were going to do.
Yeah, piss right off. Fucking Strangers Prey at Night ain't that bad, honestly.
Or sorry, no, Strangers Prey Night. I was thinking of Purge Anarchy. That's the 4th of July one where they all go to like it's like a fundraiser or something, but it's for rich people at the end. Yeah. But yeah, Green Room.
Right on. That's the that's the best movie on that whole list. So good.
All right, I'm excited. That's the podcast.
I'll go back and forth on that and Hellraiser. The first one's yeah. All right.
Well, I mean,
we're watching Green Room either way. I don't give a fuck.
Green Room.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got nothing else to say other than Scatman Carruthers said that those bikers loved pain. And so I was like immediately just Hellraiser then.
Yeah.
Hellraiser.
Yeah.
Yeah. They what does he say? He says something like they don't like pain, and they like leans in.
He's like
they love it.
Yeah. He's like because he's like I spotted them by the lake. Last time I spotted them it was by this fucking dumb lake. When I saw those guys, they looked like they were in a world of pain, but they loved it.
Yeah, that's what it is.
When you want to know the freakiest part? Yeah, whatever.
Such a good line.
Yeah, it's great.
Fucking Mandy.
Grindhouse Movie Club.